Recording in progress. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow human being, welcome to another episode of Disorganized Productions. Today we're going to have a threesome.
Dude,
Because
I'm
I,
so happy to see Eric here with us, man.
oh yeah, because I screwed up time with the time zones on my Calendly, which is CET, so Central European Time. A lot of people that I have a podcast with are in America or other countries, and somehow it's challenging to see what time that we hop on. So eventually, I thought it would be like two hours earlier for me. So I hopped on the podcast. No one was there. Then Snake told me, you know what? I'm gonna hop on because otherwise you're gonna be so lonely and stuff like that. So we had a conversation already. I deleted it right away because otherwise we're gonna fuck people up.
Yeah, otherwise, hey, Rob, if that conversation was put out, dude, we would be in jail.
Oh. But episode 42 with the Snake Turbanhead and Eric Finnäs.
Yeah. Woo woo. Thank you.
Dude, it's good to see you, Eric, brother.
Good to see you,
Yeah,
bro.
looking good, man.
Yeah, about as good as I can look.
Oh
No,
man, we had
I could clean it up and go all pretty boy, but that's not my style anymore.
but do you also have beard cream and stuff like that, or no? Just like the natural stuff, right?
Yeah, I just wash it with the
Yeah.
same shampoo on my head and let it go.
Hey,
Right,
Eric,
right.
your beard is legendary, bro. They're talking about it all over the web, brother. Like you are rivaling Sean Zimmer's beard, dude.
Well, if there was a way we could have a beard wrestle, I guess I could take him on, but I don't know. He's a pretty big boy.
Oh yeah, the Canadian Viking.
It's so funny.
I'm the littlest Viking that could. I think he'd probably best me. I don't know. Maybe some David or Goliath, but
Oh, hey,
he's a
leg kicks,
badass
brother.
though.
You got to do leg kicks. Leg
Yeah,
kicks, brother.
yeah.
What's it called? The truck? No, fire. No, what? It's this. It's this gym thing that you can do. With your fuck. You have to put your hands on the ground, and then
Wheelbarrow.
only with squirrel with your feet.
Parkour.
No, 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 no. It's a gym. Oh, whatever. Skip it. Skip
Right. Hey,
it.
it's organized. We're skipping branches.
Oh yeah, we're skipping
Yeah,
branch
like
like
squirrels,
squirrel.
brother.
Oh man, yeah. I had some show notes from the last time, Eric,
Okay.
and which been written down by Snake. I mean, he did a goddamn good job about that, and he told me that your girlfriend is also into Wicca,
Yeah. Well, yeah, kinda, sorta. That's
kind of,
what
sorta.
when she was young, yeah, her family, they were pretty Mormon, and that never resonated with her, which you can't blame anybody that's raised in that cult.
Uh huh.
But it's a Masonic cult masquerading as Christianity, and they have their own book and they have all that. And then she met a gal, when she was, I would say, in her mid-teens, and it kind of exposed her to Wicca. But like she doesn't know much about like any of the history of it. She doesn't know anything about like Semiramis, like Nimrod's wife, or any like Aleister Crowley or any of that stuff. She just kind of knows some of the basics and stuff. And she never got like into any of the dark stuff, but just the that kind of resonated with her, like the moon and the goddess and all that. And then so she doesn't really practice or anything. She still has a bunch of stuff,
Hmm.
spell book and a bunch all her candles and all her stuff, but she's kind of put it to the side. She's into her crafting and stuff right now and running
Right.
different craft fairs and stuff. But yeah, and she's her take on all of it is it's all just books written by men. And that's what I tell her. I'm like, yeah, God made man and man made religion. It's all, you know, there's a
Yeah.
bunch truth in some of it and a bunch of bullshit.
Oh yeah. What's the intention of the writer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And we talked about that before with Snake, and that's why we deleted the episode. Right, Snake?
Oh, we have to, Rob. We have to delete a lot of stuff we talk about because if people listen to what you and I talk about, we would probably be burned at the stake, brother.
Oh yeah. Maybe what's it called? Spontaneous combustion on air. Just a poof.
Yeah, we would be dead, brother.
Right.
Right.
Oh, speaking of spontaneous combustion, so that whole Baltimore Bridge thing with the boat going,
Yeah,
losing its power and hitting the
good
bridge.
point.
Well, so uh, you'd think that bridge was built strong enough to withstand a boat hit. I mean, because that boat wasn't going fast. I know it weighs a shit ton, but I mean that bridge collapsed like Legos. Like, I mean,
Right.
less than Legos. Well, there was another bridge, I believe it was in Ohio, that day that had a huge fire, or the day after, but right in that same time frame, that they said something on it spontaneously combusted and started the fire.
What?
Yeah, now I don't know if that bridge collapsed. No, I didn't look into it. I just heard one guy kind of commenting on it and stuff, but I'm just like, for real? Like, that takes there's a lot of things that go into play for spontaneous combustion. You know,
Right. You need three things for fire. That's going to be air, fuel, and temperature.
Yep.
So it's not something like, oh, it just combusted.
Yeah, but that's how they're
fucking
presenting
way.
it. Yeah, part of the, I don't know if it was part of the bridge or a load that was on the bridge or something, but it was like, you know, that super far-fetched. Like, very, because I learned about spontaneous combustion. We were seeing some trees in the forest, and the guy explained it to us. You know, yeah, the inside of the tree, it can, from the pressure and the air and stuff, it can heat up, and then the tree will light on fire from the inside and burn
Wow.
up. That's how some rare forest fires happen naturally, to, you know, burn off the old and make way for the new. But yeah, it was, so when I heard that, because no one's talking about that story's been buried by the other one. And
Right.
yeah, it's super, it's just super fishy. And then when you see all these guys talking about those ships, how they have all these backup generators and secondary steering things, so that can't happen. Very suspect.
Yeah. It's the
Very
same like
questionable.
9/11. It doesn't make any sense to anyone
Nope.
who goes to kindergarten and hasn't any indoctrination yet could possibly play with Lego and think, what the hell is this? When I make my Lego, it's better and it's steadier and it's better made than this bridge. That makes no sense.
Right. Yeah.
But
But it's very sus. And then when you see the rest of the bridge just go down like crazy, like, I don't know.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It probably would collapse on the point where the ship hit the pillar, but not everywhere.
Yeah,
Because when you're like driving with 35,000 vehicles a day or whatever on that bridge, and when you see the bridge, how it's been made and how it collapses that easily, it's just like riding with your car in a cart house, right? Just like, it doesn't make sense. It's very tricky.
Yep.
And I think a lot of people would just, be afraid of driving through a bridge at whatever time. I've been driving to Norway the other day, right?
Right.
And I have this bridge which is miles long through the ocean. Just like scary shit. But 100%, when something hits one of these pillars, probably, first of all, nothing will happen. Second of all, when something would happen, it would be only that part of the bridge that would be damaged.
Yeah, just
And
that section.
the crazy stuff is when you're driving along that bridge, all of a sudden you don't see the bridge anymore and you only see water. And you know what it does? It dips down under the water and you drive like 2 or 3 miles under sea
In the
level.
tunnel.
Yeah.
I was wondering if there was a tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, holy crap. How did people figure that out? How did people build that?
Right. And people don't realize
yeah.
it. Like, there's no U-turn. Once you're on that, you're committed. You can't turn around. Yeah.
and I have beautiful weather, but when it's like a storm, and there is one bridge, I think it's connected in Sweden, which goes really like several bends, and it's in the Pacific Ocean. So when the storm hits, just like holy cow! I'm gonna
Hey, can you
point you.
guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we hear and almost see
This is
you.
like really weird. Your fucking shit is like shifting between each other's images when you talk.
Yeah, whoever speaks, it usually pops up on there.
That's weird, dude.
You got the mood lighting going.
Yeah, that's the Oriole, right?
The full effect. Well, I
Yeah,
love it. I
the
love
halo.
This is so fucking weird.
it.
But it's good to have you on the show, guys. So
Like a
so
snake
what?
shirt right now. My name's on Snake shirt. Say something, Snake. Look at your shirt. And
Dude, Eric, fucking legend, dude. Is also Rob, dude. Rob, dude, I love both you guys. I'm so happy you're here with me right now, man. Because you guys to me are real philosophers.
Thank
And
you.
you guys rejuvenate me when I go through the fucking pathetic, retarded everyday life. And I hear you guys and I'm fucking rejuvenated, man.
that's what
Good.
it's about, man. We got
Like,
to each other up.
yeah, exactly. And I see the same way with Raul, right? Raul and uh, Alex from Firmamental, both of them, man. Like you guys are brothers, dude. You guys are warriors, dude. And when I see you guys, I'm rejuvenated, man. I'm happy to know you because you are my fucking brothers, man. And that's what I do. Like I thought I was fucking lost, right? Like just working in bullshit jobs and doing all this bullshit, right? But in reality, we have to come to a fucking common ground, right? It doesn't matter where we live or where we come from.
We're all fellow
We're either
humans.
warriors or we're not warriors. To
True.
be a warrior is fucking hard.
To
It
be an
is.
actual
I
player in
need
the
people
game.
like you with me, man. And that's what I'm starting to realize. It's like, dude, it's not like geographic based shit, right?
No, it's a spiritual connection, man. Spiritual brothers.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I seen. That's what I seen from you, Finney, Eric. I seen that from you the first time I talked to you. That you're a fucking warrior, brother. And I seen that from Rob a long time ago because Rob is a spiritual fucking badass, bro.
Oh yeah. I love
Like he
Rob.
don't give up no
I
matter
love
what.
our
And
cruise
I
line.
seen that from you too, bro. Like
Hell yeah.
that's who you are, man. I seen that from you. And I seen you talking to like my brother Raul and all that shit. And I was like, dude, this guy's one of us, man.
Oh yeah.
That's
Have you
right.
been on the firmamental yet, Eric?
Yeah, yeah. So I did my own, so before I did my episode, me and Raul were chatting and chatting with Alex and stuff. And Alex was down in Mexico. And so I
All
was just
right.
playing around with Raul. I was like, "Oh, you need a guest host?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, jump on." And then I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't want to step on any toes, because I'd been chatting to him quite a bit and only Alex a little bit, and was like, well, I don't want him to think that I'm trying to move in on his territory or anything. Like, okay, I don't want him to, like I just was, hey, he's out of town. I'll jump on with you if you want, some help or another
Yeah,
person.
but you're great, bro.
And so when he did that episode with the pastor with JB Hickson, I just jumped on with him and asked a few questions and it was a great time. And then my episode, I believe, is the one after that,
Right.
which was my solo episode. Yeah. And then we have another surprise one coming up that I don't know if I'm supposed to say or not. Alex hit me up a little while ago, and so I don't
Okay.
know. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. Finish. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about surprise this or that,
Right.
or these things that need to be hidden, and some things don't. Right. This is the game that they play, and then at the same time they're talking about Illuminati, right?
Yeah.
I'm the fucking Illuminati, bitches. I'm the SJS 172,
Snake is the one that you
right?
don't want to come across when you're in a dark alley in a unknown town, and when Snake's coming across you, you gonna run. For sure.
No, hey, Nolkin, that's not me, dude. That is that other guy we got. What is he called, dude? Nathaniel Gillis, dude. You
Oh,
don't want to come
oh,
across him in a
oh,
dark alley. You be scared shitless, right?
oh shit! But he knows a lot about that stuff.
He's so scary.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
know,
you've had
like
one too many
fucking
cocktails at, yeah. If you had one too many cocktails at the bar and say something stupid around him, or he'll set you start going off setting
yeah,
you.
whoa,
exactly. We got Nathaniel Gillis on fucking Nolkin. That was scary shit, dude.
oh yeah.
It was
But
awesome.
can you imagine that when you're like these gangbangers, like 5 or 6, hanging around, have nothing to do, and you see this figure, with this nice Italian jacket with his hat on, just like really good dressed, and hey boy, you want. I'm gonna fuck you up, and only when he's gonna look into your eyes, you think, "Oh shit!"
That's
I
a
think there
scary
will be
motherfucker, right?
yeah, there will be like in a movie, like all these demons gathering behind him, just like, who are you gonna try to fuck up?
And that's when the one
That's
that thought,
the thing.
hey bro, no, you don't want this guy. No, let's go. Come on, like no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was at. I was talking to you, Eric, because you were like this guy that got into the fucking philosophical realm, and you're like Mike Tyson in that shit, right? You just throw hooks and fucking fuck people up, brother.
No,
Knock people out.
I'm just having good conversation in our Telegram group, man. They just bring it out of me, like
No, you bring it. You know, Eric, you're like the Mike Tyson of fucking podcasting, bro. You fucking knock people out all the time. And I was like, Eric Finnäs does it again. This guy's on the floor.
but it's such a great group because how long have you been doing this now with the group Snake? Like a few months because you kicked everyone out, right? You sweep the whole fucking group, and then you started to add people where you connected with
Yes,
me
I had
together.
to do that, Rob. That's the reason for that because I didn't have you in there and Eric in there and people like that. So you have to understand if you're going to create something, it's going to get perverted.
Mm,
It's going to get fucking destroyed. It's going to get like wiped with assholes that have no mind.
like
right.
religion.
Yeah. Or racism,
Yeah, exactly.
because we
Yes.
had that stuff too.
So
And
I told people, dude, fuck all of you. If you don't want to join my group based upon a pure heart and a pure soul, I'm gonna fuck all of you. And this
right.
is the only place I'm gonna do it. And I think Jesus operated that way. I'm not comparing myself as good as Jesus. I think he's better than me, actually. Um, but I have the capacity to do it myself.
Right. Sometimes
And he
part
was the
sorry, go
well,
ahead.
maybe he was the greatest badass of all time, right? Maybe
Right.
my own parents were shit. Maybe everything's shit. Maybe everybody's bullshit, right? But we can love each other and fight like warriors and laugh the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we need to do because we are warriors. We
Yeah,
are badasses. And if you think you're less than that, and if you think you're a fucking center piece of shit, you're wrong.
exactly. Especially when you're gonna pick some other people because of their race or religion or whatever. That makes no
Yeah,
fucking
that's why I
sense.
fuck people up, dude. That's why I fuck people up. I have a disability too, Rob. I'm half fucking deaf, right? Like
Mm.
I can't hear what people are saying, but they want me to go to a court and judge people. I got a disability.
Right.
Mm.
I just got served for jury notice, and then I haven't heard anything back.
Well, the reason I like you, Eric, is you bring like this strange odd angle to all thoughts. That's what you do. Like you're very unusual, brother. Like I talk to a lot of thinkers,
Yeah.
and you are one of the most brilliant I've ever listened to.
Well, I appreciate that.
And I was like, dude, I listened to this guy, Eric, and I was like, dude, I hope he gets part of our group because he's just amazingly brilliant, man.
Well, I appreciate that. It's
That's
very
you, Eric.
quite the compliment. I don't know how to. I think you have quite.
It's not a compliment, it's a fact.
Well, I got one of those brains that just goes a million miles an hour, and I can just see so many perspectives at once, and it just kind of can. This one, shit, 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 shit. Okay, let's combine this, and this makes sense, and I can put
Right.
it together and come up with a angle.
Yeah, Rob's like that too, man. That's why he's my brother.
Probably we ate too much mushrooms, guys.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we should eat some more,
Got
man.
some good
Why
downloads.
not? Why not?
Mm.
If I hang with you guys, I would eat all the mushrooms, dude. I don't give
No,
a
no, no.
fuck.
You have
We're gonna fight like dogs.
don't eat them all. Just give us some too. You know.
That's part of it. You got to have it balanced out. We
Yeah,
got to
yeah. Oh, that would be great. You know. I need new ID, right? But you got an ID card which you can travel in Europe, or you can have a passport.
Yep.
So probably I'm going to get for the passport because I am going to America, just like Freddie. No, what's his name?
Mercury?
No, not Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
No,
You
the
are you
black
going
guy.
by
The
curious?
singer of Queen. You're trying to talk like you're gonna be the singer of
No,
Queen.
the black guy. From Beverly Hills.
Oh, you're talking about the
Eddie Murphy?
Eddie Murphy, right? Coming to America.
Yeah.
Hello, America. Fuck you. Yeah, fuck you too. But somehow it's in the stars. That's all aligned that it should be, and it will be, right? And
Hey,
then we
Rob.
hang around,
I think that the group we have is more rock star than any of these fucking people. You know,
can you
that's what
imagine?
I think.
This group.
Yeah, especially like hanging out with Finnäs and then fucking you hanging out with Raul is definitely a rock star, right? He's got that.
Well, look at our group and all the people that I've been interviewing for so long, like Dario with almost no eyesight, K Monday, beautiful communication.
Is that
Coach.
weird?
Yeah, it is. We got the pottery lady, Jessica Lee. We got Melanie Kite that strips down her own rabbits and takes care of their own food. She's ripped as hell. Tyler Hansen, the Fizz Flat Earther, Sean Zimmer, Sean Hibbler. I mean, David Weiss. I got 42 episodes so far, and sometimes you're just like, what am I? Am I in a dream or living the dream? But somehow just like,
But bro, we're hanging out with Finnäs right now. He's the biggest badass.
oh,
No.
yeah. I love this, man, because we and I
Is he
think that's
still
going to
there?
be the brand, one of the
yeah.
brand names, just like skipping branches like a squirrel, because that makes it interesting, just like topic to topic. Because were you listening into Type O Negative, Eric?
Hey, you know what I realized, Rob? I love you so much, I would kill people for you. And I was like, oh my God. If I met Rob, like if we were in a fucking a bunch of people and it doesn't matter if we work for um a psychological society based upon advanced technology or we're growing corn, I realized I would kill anybody for my brother Rob.
You're going to be my bodyguard in America.
There you go. Yeah.
So it will be.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So it will be Snake, and it will be on the other side Nathaniel, right? And the backup is going to be
demonologist guy.
The backup is going to be the Russian Canadian bear.
And was he
Alex.
the scariest guy, Rob?
Right.
That you interview was the demonologist, and you're talking to this guy. This guy was scary, right?
Right. So point is, you got an army lined up with 10,000 people, ready to battle.
Many.
And then we come across with like this 42, 50 people like Billy Bond and Sean Zimmer, Eric, Rob Sills, Mormon Rishi, all these people.
The demonologist.
This little group comes across the corner and everyone in
hey, Rob.
Avengers.
Tell Eric about Nathaniel Gillis.
Oh, I listened to that episode. That was amazing, man. That was a great episode. That dude's he's cool, man.
Scary.
Definitely going to have him part 2 because
you're asking me about Typo Negative. I'm not super familiar with them. Like I know I've heard some of their songs, and I remember asking people sometimes at the bar, because I bartended for 15 years, so
right.
Thing on the jukebox would be going, and who's this? Oh, that's Typo Negative or something. But the little conversation we had in the group the other day about the lyrics changing or different, like that was super interesting. I was like, because I heard something different than what you were hearing, what Snake was hearing, and what you guys thought it used to say. And yeah, it was pretty.
It did change, bro.
Yeah. Right? So on YouTube, there's another version of the lyrics than the original. And it's really like, what?
Thanks, Rob.
Is it the radio edit? Is it the radio edit though? Is it?
No, it's I think it's the original video that you put it on, right, Snake?
Yeah.
With the different lyrics. But I was listening to the Spotify afterwards, and it still is the original because I sang that song for thousands of times. One of my favorite albums from A to Z.
Me too.
It's like a play. It's like it all connects together. The songs. It's dark.
Yeah. He did it like Trent Reznor did.
Yeah. And
Trent Reznor is a fucking brilliant artist, man. I love that dude so much, man, because he made all of his songs tie to the other songs, right?
Oh, for sure. They all connected. Yeah.
And Typo Negative did that too. And I used to sing Typo Negative songs to myself, brother, all the fucking time. All the time, dude. That's what I know. When I heard that shit, they changed the fucking lyrics on the fucking web, bro.
Yeah,
across
albums. So the best albums are ones you can listen start to finish. It all kind of flows.
Right. And they have
They
have a fast song, and then there's a like a ballet, and the funny and the nicest thing about the album is it changes your reality. It takes you with you in this. It's like an opera. It's like a movie. Just like it's like a scenery. Just like. First, you walk in a forest, which is dark and cold, and there are animals out there, and all of a sudden, you're on this plain with the sun shining, with flowers.
She's in love with herself. She likes the dark. Like
and
the way he did that album was amazing, right?
The devil's
mark. Like it was a painting, right?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you got summer breeze.
Exactly.
And then the other song is just like kill all the white people.
I showed this to people, and everybody hated this fucking time. I told them this is a good album, and everybody hated me. And I was like, fuck that, dude. You guys are idiots, man. Typo Negative is badass. I used to listen to that shit all the time, bro. That's how I know it got Mandela affected, bro. I know it did.
Oh,
Because it was the funny thing is that you know, the fucking thing when he says like in between her thighs, that's
right.
fucking hilarious, right? And they erased it.
Cross upon a bedroom wall, from
Exactly, dude.
grace she will fall. An
Now you
image
see
burning in her mind, and between her
between
thighs.
her thighs. Yeah, bro. That's how it went. And then it went
Right,
with the chorus music, right? Boom. You know?
right.
That's why I was
Because
just
Fuck.
you,
wondering if maybe it was like the radio edit. They had to change it for the radio play. That's I didn't know.
yeah, that's what they did with Guns N' Roses with the fast uh out edit of Paradise City. You know, the
Right.
song is called "Only Women Bleed." The last part, the
Yeah.
fast part, they took it out for the radio edit. But somehow Snake pointed out that this was the original video. So that
Yeah.
was just like, what? Come on. That's like that's like art art rape.
Yeah.
Artistic rape. When you you know, just like as I
Yes.
pointed out, just like, okay, we're the Sex Pistols, anarchy in the UK. No, 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 we don't want that in the world. We want flowers, veganism, and soy. You know, just like anarchy. No, no, anarchy. No, WEF, whatever. You know, just like that kind of bullshit. But
Everybody be nice and have fun.
yeah, but the world isn't always nice and it's fun. And if I'm listening to punk, the really thing that resonates with me is to kick that system about
Yeah,
whatever, right? That's punk. I mean, punk isn't really nice, isn't it?
no, but they're just pointing out, and they're not trying to be assholes. They're just pointing out this is what the system is and what it turns people into. And
Right.
great transition with the Guns and
Well,
Roses.
that's
Your episode with Gene was amazing, dude. That was a great episode.
yes.
And the fact that he gave, I mean, that bullet hole smiley T-shirt was popular, but the fact that he gave it to Slash, and then that, a million people bought that shirt after seeing Slash wear it, and
Wow.
then I wasn't a
More
huge,
than a million.
oh yeah, but I wasn't a big, never really got big into Clutch, and that Clutch song that Gene shared, that was amazing too. Like the lyrics in that, like whoa, makes me definitely want to check
But
out
you see,
their
isn't
lyrics.
that crazy, Eric? Like how you see somebody that supposedly is like nobody, but they're connected to all these everybody's. Like all of a sudden, I'm like looking at this, like I'm stepping back from the whole thing because I just like I'm like holy fuck, I'm connected to everybody, and like me and Rob are always hanging out because Rob's a fucking badass psychologist motherfucker, and I'm just talking to him. And then all of a sudden, I'm like connected to all these other people that are dealing with like rock bands and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? And it,
Mm.
and at the same time, like you can't be arrogant about it, right? Like I'm just connected to the badass people on Earth all of a sudden,
Mm.
Well,
and
we're
you're one of
all
them, Eric.
somebody else. I mean, they're all people too, even though they're rock gods and big stars. They're people. They know regular.
That's what I'm telling you. You are one of them.
Snake, you look like James Hetfield in the early days now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I look like,
You got a
But
little
but I love
James
it when
Hatfield and Mick Foley going. Little James Hatfield, Mick Foley going
I
there.
love it when Rob does his guitar shit because it's so amazing, man. It's exactly what Jimi Hendrix talked about with music, and Rob is that good.
Right.
thank you,
I
man.
love when you jam, Rob.
Oh, I love. I gotta do some more. I gotta
It's
do some.
amazing, brother.
Thank you, thank you. The
And
funny
it's
thing,
just like legendary. It's just like when you talk to people, Rob. I wish I could talk to people the way you do, but I would just be like telling people "fuck you" half the time. But you're such a good, loving person, man.
well, I think that And I think that we can see that in a group, which I pointed out a few times now, also in the podcast. If you're willing to look at the people's struggle and where they come from, there's always a story behind it. And when you know the story, you're gonna look differently to the same people that are telling you something. Like you had and I had with Brandon Kroll, right?
Yeah.
I told him on a show just like, oh, my perspective of you was just like not how you are, but because I was listening to you in a monologue way. So he was doing his presentation, which you can't bash into or you can't disagree or agree with or asking questions. So you have this monotone dialogue, right? But when you're talking to this guy and you made up your mind also, Snake, about him, um, I was telling him just like, oh, I thought you were this egocentric little narcissistic, egocentric,
That was funny when
but
you
he's
said
not.
that.
But you have to know where he come from. Then you know why he's pointing out the stuff and what kind of journey that he has. And everybody has a story to tell. The funny thing is, in our group, everyone came from a dark side, struggle with addiction,
Yeah.
struggle with violence, struggle with demons, whatever. But the fascinating thing is, instead of isolate yourself and when you find the right people, the right group, you can elevate because we can support and love each other because we have been through the same shit. And
Oh yeah.
Well,
what
that's what
makes
I realized. Go ahead, Eric.
yeah.
I was gonna say, yeah. It's not if the people. It's funny how many people come from such a great beginning and great upbringing, rich, have all the shit, and they turn into assholes. And iron sharpens iron. So you get people that come from less than and hard times and struggle, and they come out to be way better people. A lot of people got to hit that rock bottom to turn their direction around and start to rise up. And some of those other people are just elevated from the start, so they just fall. It's just
Maybe these are the fallen angels. What about that?
that's a possibility too.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
Maybe
one
we
of the
are
things that
the definition of could be the light bearer or could be the fallen angel. Or maybe you have to go through some phases in your life to to do that. Maybe it's pointed out in a book, which is fine, or a movie, whatever, but maybe that's the purpose of life, to be the light bearer, to be the demon, to be the fallen angel once in a while, to be the deceiver, the Judas.
That's how you learn. I mean, if you've never done it or experienced, I mean, true knowledge comes from experience. You can read and be educated all, but until you actually go through it or do it, you're not going to know. You know what I mean? And so you got, you to when you do something wrong is when you get that feeling, that because our brains, our hearts, and our guts all have them same neurons. So you know when you tell somebody something that's terrible or horrible, or you do something, you feel it right away in your heart. You're like, oh, whoa, you get that pressure and you just feel like shit. And same thing when you know you're about to do, you feel it in your gut, or if a situation's about to go sideways, you get that eerie feeling. And it's all that, it's funny. I had all these notes to talk about,
I
and
just want to.
it's disorganized. I left them at work. I didn't bring them.
Oh.
But the thing I was going to talk about was Trinity. And it's great because there's 3 of us on today. And so Trinity, like, there's 3 stages of gas: solid state, liquid state, airless gas state. Mm-hmm. So everyone wants to break it into duality and binary. No, it's 3. It's, you have, man, woman, child. Like it's always actually a 3. And then you go to the Tesla, when you understand 3, 6, and 9, you unlock the keys to the universe and shit. And 3 makes up all those numbers. And so it was just like that whole trinity of that: your head, heart, your gut. Use your brain, follow your heart, go with your gut. You got to learn how to combine that. And it's not just one book, one movie. I think that's the trick. I think everyone has something to offer. So you got to find that piece in all those ones and put that puzzle together. It's not just one Bible. It's not just one, Vida. It's there's something in all of it that you got to piece together. That's the
Right.
mystery.
So you have one key that unlocks a door, which unlocks another room with probably more doors.
Yep.
It's not like this is the one key so I can enter the one room, because there's more.
Yeah, and like the analogy that I didn't come up with, but the Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, it's not one book, it's a bunch of books. So it probably has a bunch of keys, but it's been messed with. It's not what it should be. It's been edited, redirected, misinterpreted, mistranslated. So a lot of those keys are still hidden, and people come out of that incomplete without all the keys. And when they don't look to other sources, they're not going to find those other keys.
Right. It's the
Well
same with the
said.
Type O Negative song, which isn't out like years and years. It's been out like, let's say 10, 15 years, maybe 20 years, but they changed it. So everyone who's listening to only that episode of the song, and they are going to let's say hang around with some guys, and they turn on the song with the different lyrics, just like Guns N' Roses did with Don't Cry. They have like 2 or 3 other versions of the lyrics. So you start with the lyrics just like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't right. Well, it isn't wrong either.
Exactly.
Right. But when they can do that with the
Yeah.
song, to put another perspective and another text in it, look at all the translations. I think when you read the Bible, well, the Bible are like 66 or whatever, or how many books, but been downphrased to this little booklet. If you look at the Hebrew, it's like 5,000 words. The most translations take up to 20 to 50,000 words, because just like Alex pointed out with Russian, with one word, you can have multiple expressions of smell, taste, feel, whatever in one
Yeah.
word.
Did you know, hey, Rob, did you know that one word in Russian was like an entire book? So this Russian guy could go, like, can you speak like a Russian for a minute? They have a very weird way of speaking, first of all. It's like, right?
How?
They can, and
Nevrodine,
it, and
Vodina Gavrodina, Pushta Kara, no more.
yeah, and all that, it just like, listen, and they can actually convey the entire book of Moby Dick just in those words, brother.
Right.
They were so smart.
Yeah, and it's a
That's all
beautiful
they,
too.
yeah, that's all they can do. Just, and that is all of Moby Dick.
Right.
Have it down to like a couple words, one
That's how
phrase.
smart the Russians were, dude.
Yeah, probably there's no Bible, because there's only one word that explains it all, instead of all the misinterpretations about the translations of that word. Just
Yeah,
like
they have
Bible.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you mean. I don't
they
have
have one
to.
phrase.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at these people, right? These zealots, right? They're calling me the demon. Everybody needs a demon, right?
Right.
And then I see these people that are called Jews, and all they want is money. Like, is that really demonic? You know, like you see these fucking Jews, right? Everybody hates the Jews. I see on the fucking Telegram, everybody's attacking the fucking. They hate. Everybody agrees to hate the fucking Jews. They got kicked out of 100 and whatever countries, right?
180, I think.
Yeah. I don't think
190, I think,
I don't think
something
it's
like
the money
that.
part. I think it's the power. They want the power and control, and the fact that they view us
Well, who
not
gives a fuck what they want? You know
well,
what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
let
they view
Eric finish.
us as less than human, as animals, that we're not the same.
The Goyams.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are the Goyim for them.
That's the part that irks me, is like, you think that you're
It's
better
not the
than
Goyams. They got their dicks cut off, right?
Yeah, but you told me also that in Christianity in America, they cut off the dicks too.
And it's
Yeah,
not
they
just
cut the
they
dicks
just
off.
do it, and it's not just religion. They do it at the hospitals now under the guise of it's hygienic.
Oh fuck.
Yes, he's right.
That's really something that's you have if you are a Christian and you don't believe in the Judaism, in the Abrahamic Judaism, whatever. When your child's been chopped off the foreskin of your dick, you should really be aware what kind of religion do I really where I'm
Adhere
into,
to.
where do I believe in? Because it's just like, okay, the
Yes,
Jews did
you're
that, so
right.
why should you do it as a Christian? Doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to me. Stay
Well, and
away from my foreskin. I'm gonna slap you around in your face with it.
Well, and I've seen things too on Egyptian hieroglyphics that it was done then too, and I don't know. There's a lot of uncertainty around it whether it was something
Yo,
higher
Eric,
up that the higher ups did or that they were
dude,
marketing slaves.
remember the
Right.
Eric, the
Yeah,
fucking what do they call the fucking shit? The fucking chasm. It has fucking Egyptian hieroglyphs in it.
in the Grand Canyon, or
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Or they've been found all over the place, even
yeah. So the
Australia, I
Grand
think.
Canyon's through the end of Utah through Arizona and stuff, and most of it's off
that's
limits.
crazy, right?
Yeah, me and my brother wanted to go over there for a long time and explore that, and it's just insane what's in there. And it makes sense because Egyptians say they came from another land during a
But they
flood.
block you off from certain territories of going into the Grand Canyon.
It's supposed to be public land.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think Rob knows this shit. Do
Yeah,
you
it's
know that, Rob?
I didn't knew that. I knew that they were finding hieroglyphs all over the world, just like the pyramids.
yeah,
I knew that. I think that in Australia or even in New Zealand, there's a rock where they have, hieroglyphs on it. The funny thing is, just like you pointed out, Eric, is that circumcision could be something religious or to see who's the slave or not, maybe in Egyptian times. But the thing is, I think that uh, when you are born, you supposed to be this divine creature. So who gives you the right to chop something off because it's already perfect, right?
right,
My dad, he was really offended when I told him that I like tattoos because he said, I don't want to see them because you're perfect as the way I made you, right?
right.
So, and of course, you got some people that need some surgery because they have some very big ears or whatever. Some people would say, okay, that's me, or I got a fat bottom girl, so that's it. We talked about it before, Snake, right? Fat bottom girls. But that's you, you know. And if you're looking to what society tries to tell you how you should look like, because that's the whole fucking thing, if you're living across an island with only ugly people and you think you're the most beautiful one, well, so what? It's for your ego. But when you come as this beautiful creature from an island from all ugly people to an island with all beautiful creatures, maybe you're the ugliest one, right? So it doesn't make
Yeah,
any
well,
sense
and
anyway.
who gave us the definition of beautiful and ugly? Like
Exactly.
that's part of programming too. We might not, people, a lot of this surgeries and stuff they want to have is because they were taught and programmed that they were ugly or something instead of looking at, maybe your ears are that big because you were meant to be the one listening. They hear better. Maybe your nose is that big because you have a better olfactory sense of smell and you were supposed to be the one smelling. And you know what I mean, your eyes are so big because you're the one that's supposed to be on watch looking out through the night. I mean,
Right.
they don't, all that stuff. It's just like the ADHD bullshit. These kids, they just can't sit in a classroom for 8 hours a day. They weren't meant to. They're not. That's
No.
the kid's not the problem. They can't sit in the classroom. The problem is that they have to sit in the classroom. They're supposed to be out running and
Yeah, I agree.
experiencing and learning the life through firsthand experience. They're not supposed to be there with some boring teacher
Well,
telling them.
that's one of the things I went through, guys. Like, I resonate with Eric is saying and what you're saying, Rob. It's like they told me like I was like some person that had a learning disability or some bullshit. I didn't have a learning disability. I didn't want to be in a classroom.
Right.
And learn the
That's
craft of
that's that's what happened to me. And then when I figured out their system, I beat it and they called me a genius. But before I figured out their system, they called me a retard, you know?
yeah.
Right. And it's
That's how they
fascinating
do it.
because a lot of people that we're talking to right now in this community are the ones that really use the things that they learn in the basics about learning, about investigation, about figure things out, having the good questions, get answers to your questions that you have to make up
Yes.
your plausible mind truth. These people, no of them has a PhD in that kind of direction, but look at Vika. He does
Oh,
so
he's
much.
amazing, isn't he?
Exactly.
He's
But
awesome.
all these people are amazing because they figure it out for themselves. And it's not because they went through school and school told them just like, oh, you want to live off grid, you got to do that. You want to ask about the flat or globe or whatever, you have to investigate in this. No, we all use our capacity to figure out for ourselves what the most plausible truth is. And then we come together just like, hey, wow, this is my story. The funny thing is, if you talk to people like we do right now, which is, we talked about that on a podcast before, Eric, on our podcast, this is the church, right?
Yep.
This is how we should connect to people to, uh, you know, ventilate our thoughts, bring up topics that maybe
Be
are
real.
controversial or whatever. Just talk about it. And okay, well, I disagree with you or not. Fine, but you still got my support and my love because you're not a different people. You're not a different human right now. You're just a human with another perception of that idea or topic or
Yeah, that's why
whatever.
you're amazing, Rob.
Thanks.
And then that's the
Because
point of
you always make people feel good, man. That's what you do, brother. And you do it better than everybody else. I can't do that, man. The only thing I can do is connect people. I'm not like Rob Nolkin, dude. I can't be you, brother, because your soul is so powerful and so loving and so shining. Like I just look at it and I'm like, fuck, that's a good dude, man. But that's not me, man.
but you don't need to be anybody else. I heard a quote the other day, just be you. Everybody else is taken.
Yeah, I
That's a
know,
strong
brother.
one.
And it's a
That's
balance, man. I know you go through some dark times and you get some dark stuff in your mind, and we're here to balance each other out. And like you
Well,
said,
that's
we're
why I love you, Eric. Like one of the things about you that's always resonated with me is like you're one of the most philosophical, deep minds I came across anywhere, brother. And you just blow my mind every time you speak. And I'm like, dude, this dude's so cool, dude. I have to get him in our group.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and it's just like you said, we may disagree on something, but we're gonna walk away, and that's gonna
Oh,
stick. It's gonna stick in our mind, and then it might wear on us, or we might come across another experience or something else where it resonates, and then we can actually see it. I'm like, oh, I see what he was saying now. Maybe I can, and then it shifts your perspective a little bit, and that's what it's all about. Sharing the ideas to strengthen all of our perspectives in the different paths that we're on.
well, with you, bro, man, you
right.
stand out so much in the whole plethora of all the things I've seen philosophically and shit, just like Rob does. Like Rob is like a unique motherfucker that people don't notice, right? And you are too, man. And I noticed this because I fucking study so much philosophy, dude. That's all I used to do. I used to just fucking I had tons of books, dude. Just reading, writing, thinking. This is what I did on my own, brother.
That
And I
was your
run across you and
pastime.
I run across Rob and I'm like, oh dude, these are like these are these type of people, man.
Yeah.
They're rare, few, and far between.
Skull. Cheers to that.
Skull.
Hey, and it is. I know you did the New Year's episode last week with Gene, but we're still on New Year's.
Mm. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Today is the new moon. Tomorrow's the eclipse that marks the end of the era and the end of the year. You know, it is the new calendar. It is the
I'm gonna tell you something that's really fascinating. Yesterday, I was drinking a few beers, went outside. It was this serene silence. There were almost no clouds. The temperature, I was just like in a t-shirt. When I go out in a t-shirt right now in the middle of the day, just like, oh, it's a little bit freezing or windy and stuff like that. Nothing. Yesterday was literally just like the perfect environment of a human being. And I was sitting like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning outside with my skirt on, so bare feet and stuff like that. No cold. It was this day. It over day it was windy, cloudy, a little bit rainy, a little bit sunshine, but you couldn't adapt to it.
yeah.
Yesterday, perfect. And I was thinking about just what you said, Eric. Yesterday was a transition from the real New Year. So okay, like everything stands still on the right track, and now we're going to another one.
Yep.
So happy
I'm
New Year
excited.
to you.
Happy New Year, brother. Tomorrow, uh, you record or show us what's going on in your area with the eclipse, so then Snake can do his, and because then we're all over the map. We all need to document it and share it with each other. You know, we need to get Vika. You know, hit the Telegram up and get Vika and Gene, because Gene's in New York. Part of it's supposed to be shooting up there. I think
Right.
I'm just a little north of where it's going, but like all of us needed, since we have so many people across the board, we all need to
Yeah.
document and compare and see what, you know what I mean?
Right. So I
Just
think
one thing I saw, guys, that was really fucking strange. I've been looking at this shit for a while, dude, and it started like in well, all my life I've fucking dealt with paranormal shit. But one of the things was like the 4th of July last year, and my wife starts telling me, "Hey, there's something outside that looks like not an airplane." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking?" I go out there, and it looks like a ball of fucking light with something in the center of it, right? And I'm like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" I'm looking at this shit, and it's like going across the fucking sky. And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." I got my fucking phone out and had to film it, right? Otherwise, people aren't gonna fucking believe me. And then I go in the front yard and there's another one. That was like the 4th of July. This
wow.
morning, before I came here with you guys, I've I'm seeing these motherfuckers in the sky, right? They look like stars. That's what they look like.
Like the light in the water.
Over my workplace.
Blinking.
Yes. And I'm like, okay, fucking stop this shit, right? Because I'm looking at it and I can see it. So
Chinese.
I tell my wife to get the fuck out and look at this shit, right?
Yeah.
I did this with other people at work because I've seen this several times. Like these things in the sky, they look like stars, but they're not. They're not stars, and they move across the sky like at incredible speeds. And they fucking change directions and shit.
Whoa.
So I was just it happened this morning before I came home, and I was like, dude, I need to film this shit for fucking Rob. And I was telling this thing, dude, can I get my camera out? Can I film you? Can you fucking let me fucking film you? Right? It's like moving all these directions. It goes right behind a fucking cloud, dude. And I'm like, all right, I made my wife come out there and see that shit first, right? Because they can tell that you're looking at them
Mm.
somehow, even though they're in the sky, man.
Well, yeah, shout out to all our brothers. Tyler, he talks about that. Like every time he would try to film them,
Well, he's right.
they'd
Yeah,
bounce.
yeah. He's got some really interesting dots that he connects
That
by.
guy's right, man. Like,
Oh,
people might think he's insane. I was talking to him last night, dude. I was like, dude, this guy's got like divine downloads and shit. Because the shit that he talks about is like crazy. And he's like built like a shit brick house, dude. I'm like, oh, all right.
yeah.
If you're working out like he is, and your mind's got to be pretty clear, right?
Yep. Your physical and your mental is connected. It's
Right.
it-
Should
I
I
was looking at that shit, brothers. That guy's no joke, man.
share my story about a
yes,
photograph that's been taken from space from me?
yes,
I was hanging around with my girlfriend, and I was living on this apartment where we had this balcony, right? And once in a while we get outside, and it was one of the almost my birthday. It was like 2 or 3 weeks before my birthday, and I drove back from Germany back home when I saw this thing on uh like a planet, but I didn't know what. So I took out my app, Skywalker app, and I pointed at this star, whatever, and it seems to be Uranus. Uranus is my planet as a Aquarius. I got it
okay.
tattooed right here. Uranus. So
My anus or your anus? No,
yeah, because it's your anus. So with that story being told to her, we were at home. We get out for a smoke, looked at a beautiful bright sky in the middle of the night, and we saw some things moving, and I said, "Oh, you know what? Fuck them." And my girlfriend, she's very positive, so she said, "I love you," and I point out my middle finger to the skies. Right then, all of a sudden, there came a flash. Like somebody is going to have the old cameras, like a flashlight right in your fucking face. Just out of space. Just
That's because they're gonna fuck you, Rob.
they just made a picture out of us. Something like I never ever saw something like that before. And some people would say, "Oh, it's a star that exploded." Oh, well, I don't believe that shit. I think they really took a photograph out of space of me because that makes the most sense to me. But
Yeah.
it was
They were going after you, brother.
yeah.
I
Either
guarantee, man.
I don't
a
care.
photograph or just even a signal like, "Hey, we see you." Like, "Hey, check it out. We're." But yeah,
Yeah,
a star that exploded. How many light years away? A million light years. So it happened a million years ago. Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
No,
right.
the stars are closer than you think.
It's
They're
like,
fucking closer than you think, man.
yeah, just like NASA's gonna go build a railroad on the moon.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
heard that
that's
story.
the fucking funny thing about that shit, dude. They fucking landed on this shit like 50 years ago. They can't do it again, and they're talking about going to something a million times further away. That's game over for me, man.
Yeah, like I
Like
didn't.
I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? You
Yeah,
can't get like okay, I can't get to fucking Kansas from where I am, but I'm gonna plan a fucking mission to fucking goddamn the Netherlands. You know
we can have a
what
normal
kind of fucking bullshit is that?
we
or
can
even
have a
Antarctica.
we can have a normal discussion when we are on the telephone, and I'm very angry also when the connection breaks down. but Nixon was perfectly calling with a landline to the moon, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
it's just like Donald Duck really existed, and we're gonna bring him back to life,
For sure.
right?
And you
It's the
see the
same bullshit.
capsule. You see the capsule. Oh, these three dudes were in this tiny thing, and they had to put on these giant spacesuits before they got out of it. And it took the rover. It's just like, but magically, someone was already there to film it when they came and left.
Right. And
Like,
the other
what would
question
the
will
odds
be,
be for a camera to land perfect? Even if
yeah,
it's automatic, let's say they had a drone, a robot, it flew up there, landed perfect, and then they landed in the perfect spot to be filmed, everything perfect. And like, come on, what are those on? Like,
right. And if you see when they're driving around with this Mars rover or whatever, moon rover, how did they bring that to the supposedly moon when you see the crappy craft that they have been flying with and touched based on the moon? Where was the rover at that moment, you know? It makes no sense at all. None. Yeah, and the poor guy that left behind the moon that filmed when they
yeah.
took off, right?
Yeah, so and you saw the new one when India went, the garbage they presented, that lame cheesy
oh,
video.
yo,
I didn't even say anything.
India has the most advanced spacecraft.
Yeah, I didn't even say anything. I just showed the clip of it to my 11-year-old, and she's
Right.
like, "Look at me, like, what is this crap?"
Okay.
Like just looking at it like it's BS, and I didn't even say anything. I just showed her the clip, and she's like, "What is this garbage I'm watching here?" Because she's a gamer. She's been, and I'm like, "Oh, that's India landed on the moon," and she just starts laughing, like no, you know, can't like it. She's like, "This is the crappiest thing I've ever seen." Like,
Right. Right. But what's the point? Well, were people in the late 60s so stupid and so indoctrinated that they bought that story just because it was on TV?
yeah,
Wouldn't there be people that are been put into mental houses, like mental institutions, because they were seeing things or knowing things, just like, oh, this doesn't make sense, or you're going to be put in a mental institution and going to have stuff in you because we don't want you to bring that out to the public because they're still hypnotized.
well, it's
Well,
how
the
they.
way I see it is this, man. I think that we are in mental institutions already, and that's called work, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Society is called that too. If you don't take your pills or your alcohol or your coffee, you're going to be screwed anyway in
You're
this
gonna fucking
society.
freak out, right?
Yeah.
It's how they present it. They learned, the manipulation and the how people react, for thousands of years ago. They've just perfected it now. One little commercial, and they know it's gonna stick, and people are gonna.
Hey,
So,
Eric, what do you think about this? When the lightning hit um, the Statue of Liberty, it activated Lucifer. So now it can walk across the world as a giant.
that's crazy. On Ghostbusters when they sprayed it with the ooze and used it, and it was moving around.
No, but think of the lightning that just hit it, right? It's all over TV.
Oh, when was
The
that?
fucking the lightning that hit the Statue of Liberty. You didn't see that?
No, when is that recent?
Yeah, you gotta see. It happened like 2 days ago.
Oh
The
yeah, I'm
lightning hit the
so
Statue
behind.
of
Like, I'm
Liberty.
out of the loop. I see shit so later.
Yeah, me too,
Well, I'm
Eric.
hooking you up, brother. I'm hooking you
Oh yeah,
up. The lightning hit the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is Lucifer,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Mithra.
According to everything. So that means when the eclipse happens, Lucifer is going to walk off of its chains and finally rule the world for its short season.
Right?
He's
I
going
could,
to
I
be
could
the
see, I
new.
could see that Project Blue Beam happening for sure.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome
I'm telling you, I'm
wouldn't
not
that be
lying to you
awesome when
guys.
the
Look at the internet.
Wouldn't that be awesome when the
Lucifer,
Statue of
the
Liberty is
Statue of
like,
Liberty, according to the fittest flat earther, it did get hit by a lightning bolt on the torch just
but
like 2 days ago before the eclipse.
And
but would
that's the primer. And tomorrow for the eclipse, they're firing up CERN to the next level.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
And then Lady Liberty walks across New York like King Kong did and Godzilla and fucks
Yep.
them up. Everyone. That would be world news, ladies and gentlemen, fellow humans. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Lady Liberty dragging around with her torch and fuck everyone up.
So we got it. Is the Jesus statue in Brazil gonna get hit? And then they're gonna
Oh, dude, the Jesus statue of Brazil would be crazy.
and then they're gonna have a battle, and the Statue of Liberty kills the Jesus statue.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh,
Now,
but
there's a
that's
movie.
better
That's
than
good.
Jake Paul
That's
and
better
Mike
than King
Tyson.
Kong. That's better than King Kong Godzilla. You got
So
Right?
you're saying the Brazilian Jesus
Yeah.
gets up versus the Statue of Liberty, which is like Satan, right?
Right.
and the Statue of Liberty torches him right in the heart and takes him out.
Right.
What if the Kraken comes up too, though?
Yeah, the Leviathan.
Oh.
Yeah, the Kraken, the fucking motherfucker from Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, to take it
How you
back,
gonna deal with that, brothers?
right? So to take it back real quick to the Grand Canyon, they try to say, oh, this happened over millions of years of erosion from a river. And then there's been a lot of evidence lately that it could have been a cataclysm that happened, it happened in a matter of minutes or days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's
Graham Hancock and Randall Carson pointed out on Joe Rogan, just like this is like a few hours that with so much force that it could make the holes in the that's fascinating.
Graham Hancock.
Yeah, when you think about the Sumerian flood story and the biblical one, how the waters of the deep, which we already know that submarine guy, he went to the bottom of the ocean, found another set of water he couldn't penetrate.
Mm-hmm.
So
why was he doing
that they released, and then the firmament was opened and they dropped water in. That could have been one of the spots where all that water just hit and made that thing instantly, to flood that all out.
But what do you think that water was that he couldn't get to?
I think that's the waters of the deep that's described in some of them ancient books. I think there's
like a fucking solid water.
It's just a different level of buoyancy and density, just a different mixture.
What about that it's the firmament of another world?
Yeah. Lower level. Yeah. Maybe that's the lower firmament. Their blue sky, like we see our blue sky, because our water's above. Astronaut.
Yeah, I've seen those videos though, Eric. You're right, dude. There was like some fucking shit that looked like water and they couldn't get
under ocean. Yeah, and it's the same depth that they can't get, the deepest hole supposedly dug. It's about 8 miles down. They can't.
Yeah. That's why we know
that's
the
weird.
core of our Earth, which is the circumstance of 42,000 miles, and we can dig 7 miles in it. We know what the core of the Earth is. Well, wake the fuck up, people. Because
that's a good point.
How? And you knew that the hole that's been drilled, I think it's in Russia.
Yeah.
When they took a camera down to that hole, they heard screaming of people.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's what's weird too. They say they heard the screaming and gnashing of teeth when they went down in that hole, and also when they've gone as high as they've ever gone up.
Wow.
Well, I didn't have to dig that deep. I just have to take a lot of mushrooms, and I hear the same thing.
What kind of mushroom did you take then? The Mexican?
I don't know, dude. They're the kind that make you see like things swimming through air and shit. I don't know what the particular strain is. Like back in my day, that was like 20 something years ago. They're just like, all right, here's some mushrooms. Here, how much do they cost? $20, right? And then you take them
It's like
and you're
20
like,
bucks.
this shit doesn't do nothing, right?
Don't say that ever when you're
And
taking a trip.
And then 30 minutes
yeah,
later,
and
5
then
minutes later.
and then a little bit later, you see all these motherfuckers swimming through the air and shit, and you're like, what the fuck? Oh, is this real? Like I see something like there's something between the wall and me that I don't look at, right? Like Gene talked about. Like
And I think,
he's right, dude.
yeah,
There's like a whole other dimension. And I was like taking these mushrooms. I was like, oh, fuck these mushrooms, dude. Right? This is bullshit. And they're like, oh, man. All of a sudden, you see a whole nother realm and shit. And they're like, wait. How the fuck is there something between what I see in front of me and the air, right?
Right.
That's what the mushrooms did. And I was like, fuck these mushrooms, dude. Because nobody else saw what I saw, right? I saw this realm that existed that nobody's seen, and they took mushrooms too. And so I thought, fuck, I'm not around Rob and Eric. I'm around idiots, right? So I fucking looked at them, bros, and I was like, fuck these people, dude. They're retards, right? And I was like, dude, I might be surrounded by NPCs, man.
mm-hmm.
That
And
might be my life.
a lot of it too is the environment you're in when you take that, and the mindset you're in.
Well, what I'm telling you, Eric, is like you don't have to take mushrooms, dude. You could take fucking matcha, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
kava.
if you
We have a big Islander
matcha's
population.
the
Kava.
matcha's the tea, right? I take matcha with chaga, reishi, and everything else, right? That's what I take as my fucking get up and go to work drink. But that has psychedelic effects too.
Yep, just not on the same level. Yeah, so the Islanders, the Polynesians and Hawaiians and stuff, they all drink a different one. It's a root. They make a tea. It's a muddy water looking thing. It's called
Mhm.
kava, and same thing you can happen off of that too. It's it's a lot of them. It just relaxes. Most people will relax you, make you pass out and stuff. But if you can fight through that and get to that in between state.
Well, that's what I talk about, brother. And I'll tell you guys one other secret. And you guys can do this, but don't share it to everybody.
No, that's why we're on a podcast. We're going to be live on Spotify, but don't share it with anyone. Go ahead,
That's
Snake.
perfect. Let's make sure everybody hears this thing, right? I guarantee you, brother, if you get a slow juicer, get a slow juicer. You guys know what a slow juicer is? Masticating juicer, right?
All right, yeah.
Get that fucking shit. Fucking get ginger.
Mm-hmm.
Get apple cider vinegar. Juice that ginger fresh. Combine it with the apple cider vinegar, and also put lime in it. And you take that, it'll have psychedelic effects.
Ginger is an underrated thing that can be used in so many things for healing and detoxifying and stuff. That's flies under the radar.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's more powerful than coffee, any kind of caffeine you can take. It's not necessarily energetic, but it will definitely have psychedelic effects.
Well, I did quite some time. It's been a few years ago that I woke up every morning and I took like a tablespoon, no, not a tablespoon, like a teaspoon of uh, baking soda, mix it with 3 cups of apple cider vinegar. It's gonna finch, right? It's gonna there's some
Yeah, it
interaction.
is.
But
Yeah.
when that's been out, I put it on some water in it and just drank it every single day, and it's good for your acidity or non-acidity of your body.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I realized though, brothers. If you guys try this shit. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing how powerful like juice ginger is for everything, your joints, your clarity of mind, and everything. It is ridiculously powerful.
So ginger, apple cider, and what was the third ingredient?
Lime.
Like
Lime.
green lime juice.
Yeah, so
So that's
if you buy ginger root and you juice it,
Yeah.
right? First of all, this is going to be extremely hard to drink because the
acid.
I don't know, it's the acid or whatever, but if you drink this shit, it tastes like hell, right?
How much
And
parts
you're
of
going to go through
how much
a minute, like
parts,
you're going to feel like you're going to vomit for a minute after you drink it.
Right. What were you asking, Eric?
how much parts like like a
Yeah. What's the ingredient prescription?
like how much
Well, I
vinegar?
would say get fresh root, blend it fresh. Otherwise, it's not going to work the same.
Yeah, yeah.
I put ground fresh ginger in my shakes that I make for my wife in the morning and shit and me. But I'm telling you, if you want to have the real power of ginger, you have to get the root. You have to
Right.
cut it, right?
But
And you
how
have to put it
much?
into a.
No, but like how much apple cider vinegar? How much lime juice?
Yeah.
Well, I would say um, the apple cider vinegar should not be more than 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
Okay, okay. That's what I was wanting to know. So we're putting in like a maybe like a shot glass worth, a double shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, or in a cup, right? You got to put it in a cup,
Maybe
and you might
one
need to
lime,
ice it.
like one lime worth of juice.
Ice it.
Yeah, like one lime worth of squeezed juice.
Yeah, one lime or a wedge of wine. That's
Okay.
just for like, but that's not just for taste. It's because these ingredients work together symbiotic.
Yeah.
Right. And just
But
like
the ginger will clean your system.
oh, ginger is very, very healthy for your system. You know why they
But
use
it
it on
burns.
sushi? Well, not on sushi. I was doing that mistake. When I was eating sushi the first time, I thought I'm gonna put my sushi in the soy sauce, then put some the green stuff,
I know what
the
you're saying,
wasabi
Rob.
with wasabi on it, and then I'll
The
put some
wasabi's hot,
and
right?
then I'll put some ginger on it. But then I went to a real sushi restaurant in Amsterdam, and they said this is like offending the cook. I said, why? They said it takes a real sushi cook like 10 years to make the perfect rice for the sushi.
Yep.
And when they
Yeah,
do
he's
that,
like,
you're only going to use the ginger to evaporate your taste from the first sushi. So when you take the second one, it fades out the taste of the first one. So you will have a new taste because of the ginger. But you shouldn't put
that's
them on
amazing,
it.
right?
You should put
Yeah.
them between the sushi meals.
To cleanse your palate, yeah, to reset it for the next, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but man, dude, that's weird, right? Like they broke down it to a fucking science or something. Like what the fuck? It's just like food, right?
Well,
Right.
it's like this. What is it? This stingfish or something? No, the fish that's very toxic. They make
Oh,
that.
that's the
Lion,
fucking
the lion,
pufferfish, Rob.
yeah,
Yeah,
the lionfish.
right. If you're
Well,
gonna cook it
I know
wrongly,
the
you're gonna be
lionfish is
dead.
toxic too, but he's talking about the pufferfish where they cut it up,
Oh
and if
yeah,
you fucking eat the wrong part of it, you die, right?
Yeah, same
right.
with the lionfish has to be prepared too. They're the same way.
Wow.
The lionfish is like that fish is with the fucking spins everywhere, right? Where if you
Red
touch
and
it,
white one
it
with the
like
spines.
closes. Yeah, yeah, it looks like a fucking I seen it on Kings of Pain, they touched it to see what it would do to them. These people are idiots.
Yeah, it like paralyzes you. It's like a neurotoxin.
Yeah, they touched it though, bro.
Yeah, I had one of those experiences. I was down in Brazil and I swam out to this rock, and it was quite a bit farther out than I thought. And
Shit.
so I'm getting like halfway there, and this was like 13 or so years ago, and I wasn't in such good shape. I've been working out a lot since then, and I was a little heavier. I was partying all the time, and we'd been out on a cruise on this ship, like this old school like sailboat that takes you out for like a little booze cruise. We had some cocktails and stuff, and when we were coming in, I saw some people standing out on this rock. I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna swim out to that when we get back." So
Right.
I didn't realize that they walked around the beach we were on and had a nice little short swim to it and climbed up a certain side of it. I swam straight from the beach, clear out, fighting the current. Get halfway there, and I'm like huffing and puffing, going, "Damn, this is a little farther than I thought." So I finally get to the rock, and now I'm super tired, and I'm way out, and I'm treading water, and I see it's covered in urchins. Well, I'm in Brazil, and I'm in on the Atlantic side. So
Uh-huh.
I've grown up going to the beach in California and Hawaii on the Pacific side. Well, and in Hawaii, the black urchins are the super poisonous ones. The black ones with the spines that get you. And so
Right.
I'm swimming. I'm looking at it's covered in urchins, and there's some black ones. And so I'm like freaking out, like, oh shit, because just in my mind, because I don't know if it's the same on each ocean. So
Right.
I climb up this thing, and because I kind of swam around it and saw a way up, and I climb up and I get up there, and one of them jabbed my toe. And so now I'm on this rock. I'm dead tired, and I'm got a thing in my toe, and I'm trying to get it out, and I can't, and I'm starting to panic, like, oh, this is gonna poison me. Am I gonna die on this rock in the middle of
Right.
the field by myself while my ex-girlfriend's on the beach? And she's gonna have to tell my parents, you know.
You got stung.
So yeah. So I'm
Didn't
well,
make
she
it.
wouldn't have known until way later, and it's like so I'm just trying to regain, meditate, and trying to charge up and gather my energy. So I swim back in, climb up on the beach, and now I'm really exhausted, and I'm telling her what happened. And so we get the piece out and go to the bar, and they have it's called Penga. It's the really strong rum. It's almost 200 proof. So I get a big shot of that, and I'm soaking my toe in it and just trying to talk myself through it that I'm not poisoned and I'm not going to die. And then we later on, when we got back to our room, looked it up on the internet that those ones down there weren't poisonous ones. And I just, it was just more of my mental. But yeah, for a good hour there, I thought I was going to die from a
Oh
little
shit.
sea urchin. Yeah, down, in Brazil, away from everyone by myself. Yeah.
Dying on a rock.
Yeah. Just for something stupid. I must be macho and swim out to this rock.
Oh shit. And you could be surprised by the currents and about the depths of waters and the cold. A
Yep.
lot of swimmers are just fed up about that. I just sorry, Snake. I just what's it called? Uh
You did?
yeah, I muted you, Snake, so you can get into the conversation again because I heard Crystal talk and I thought just like I'm gonna so you have to unmute, Snake. I'm gonna get me another beer if that's all right with you.
Yeah, for sure, brother.
It's all right.
Happy New Year. Get one.
Yeah, it's good to be hanging with you, Eric.
Heck yeah, brother. It's about time.
I
About
was
time.
dude, I'm always like just sorting ammo and like thinking about fucking um bringing out all these cool people I met together in different ways. Like we have a tribe, man. That's the way I see it. I'm like, dude, I'm around so much cool guys all of a sudden. I don't even know how it happened, but we are better than anything else on the podcast spectrum, man. Guaranteed.
I think there's a lot of amazing people between like Firmamental, Disorganized, Dispatches from
Oh,
Reality,
dude, my brother
Turbanhead,
Raul is a fucking
Spit.
rock star.
Derek
I
Stitt,
love Stit too. Yeah, Stit's a badass, man.
yeah, Stitt's the
But
shit.
I'm always hanging with Rob. Rob's my brother, man. I love Rob, and he's a fucking badass. But I'm saying, dude, like people, they seem to have all this stuff and all this power and all this happiness in life and shit. But if we're a group of badass thinkers, can't we have the same fucking thing?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
all here to help each other achieve
If we
that.
put our minds together, right?
Yeah, that's what I keep telling them. We've been Voltron together for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about that shit.
It's
Like,
like
if all of us fucking put our minds together and make something happen, it can happen.
we will. It's like this coil. One is copper, one is magnetic, but you have to do some things to make it work so it's gonna generate energy. Ah, gotcha, bastard. So oh,
Those
there's
are
a
chopsticks, Miyagi. He's over here.
oh yeah. I did it all. I love it because I know when a fly is. For our listeners that thinking what the hell happened there, I was chasing a fly and I just grabbed it. But the thing is, when I grab it, I don't want to squeeze it because it's all in my hands. It's fucked up when I'm going to jerk off and stuff like that. You know, half fly on your. It doesn't make any sense. But I was grabbing this fly and just I let loose and he flew again. Lucky bastard. But yeah, if we combine our thoughts,
Yes.
alone you go far, but with other people you go much farther, and you need other people. I think that's the the toughest thing to do when you feel isolated, to reach out to other people that could lift you up, that could give you support and love. Because when
I
you're in
agree
this
with you.
isolated state, it's very hard. And it's even if you're not isolated, but if you are feeling like I'm very independent, that means, oh, I can do it all by myself. Well, guess what? You can, but you're not supposed to be. You need other people around to, to do stuff that maybe you can also do, but to not to put every task on yourself. And why should I don't give the opportunity to Snake to reach out to other people to do the notes on a podcast, which is brilliant. I can do that
I'm
too,
not
but
that good, bro. Come on.
yeah, you are. You're the fucking executive producer of Disorganized Productions, motherfucker, chief of office, right?
I'm just your brother, dude. Come on.
Yeah. But you know how many brother companies that made it big? Okay,
Right.
so shut up. You are great,
We just,
Snake
hey,
Turban
what
Hat.
we do, Rob, is we help each other out. We have a good time, man. And I fucking work with you to get guests. I'm not trying to be a CEO or executive producer or none of that shit.
No, we only have the names like Snake, Rob, and Eric. That's it.
Well,
That's it, right?
Yeah.
that saying, man, it takes a village. It really does. It's and they indoctrinated us and programmed us to not trust each other. They're pushing everyone
But
that
Eric,
divide
that's
and
why I
conquer.
wanted you in fucking Gods in the Spectrum because I seen the stuff you're doing and I was like, this guy's funny, man, and he's smart. So he needs to fucking throw some lightning bolts in that fucking room, man.
Right?
Oh, so he
That's
was
the way
throwing the
I
lightning
roll.
bolts to Lady Liberty, or no, not Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty. Eric did that with his thoughts, right? Skull.
Yeah, that's fucking beautiful lightning bolt,
My
bro.
cousin,
Right up.
my cousin Thor, we are just dropping hammers on fools.
Love that. I saw that. I was listening to this pagan Wicca witch on Instagram, which I connected with, and hopefully she's gonna join my show.
Don't
She
worry, Rob. I'll get something better if that doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, but it wouldn't be only one episode, so I will have more time to do more episodes, right? But this pagan
Yeah.
lady, she has a YouTube channel and an Instagram and stuff like that. But she points out about a lot of Odin and Thor, where it came from, the mythology and stuff like that, like the Thor's hammer and stuff like that, really fascinates me. I really like to dig into that. And now you brought up, because you got Eric Finnäs, which is Swedish Finns, right?
Yep.
That's and I was crossing a roundabout in Denmark. No, was it no, in Norway, which were pointing on the right direction, but they had to go straight on the right direction. It was Asgard Strand. So it's like Asgard, the middle of the Viking, and all Vikings were surrounded on this roundabout, uh, made out of wood. Just like, oh, I love this. Is you see the fjords with all the water and its harsh firemen, and everyone just living there in their nice little cozy warm wooden houses.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Your little
hail to
cot.
Odin. So there, I said it.
Yo, bro, that's why you're the legend, dude. I love it when you talk to these Christian people, man. Like, it's funny to me because you are the fucking Viking guy,
Well, I
and
think. Go ahead.
and that's why I love you too, Phineas. I know that you love the cross and the Christian people.
Oh, I don't love the cross, that's for sure.
I love the cross, but it's a little bit more down when you get on your knees.
I just think Jesus is a badass, Yeshua, not Jesus.
Right.
That's bullshit. But I just think that that dude was a badass, and just the way the whole world's been designed to hate him, and I just think he was a messenger, and I think his message is beautiful, and that's a path, a righteous path to try and walk, not to try and be him, but to try and to walk that path and just make everything better and to help people out. And I've been using him in arguments against Christians my whole life, because that's the areas that I grew up in. They'd say some bullshit. I'm like, well, that ain't what Jesus did. That ain't what Jesus said. That ain't the way he looked at it. That ain't, his actions.
That's interesting. You remind me of Troll after Troll's discussion with Rob.
Right. I like Kroll. He says a lot of cool shit. Like, I think he is just really trying to help people out. I think he saw a pattern, and he's just all these people, you're doing it
Rob
wrong.
made me not hate that guy. That's Rob's fault.
Yeah. And I told Snake, I told Snake before I hopped on his podcast. I said, I listened to his guy, and there's you got things I got voices in my head, just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it said the whole time, just shut up. I want to give this guy the credits after I talk to him, not to be misinterpreted about things he said, because he said some things on podcasts that doesn't resonate with me. I want to give him a chance to be who he is, so I can understand where he's coming from. And just as you pointed out, Eric, he has some really good knowledge about things, and especially as a youngster. He's 29, I think, or something like that. He is really wanting to help people to see what you believe is the anti whatever, right? And what your perception on this is. Every individual has another perception of that. That's cool. But I love him, man. I just jumped on, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll give it like an hour, or maybe 1.5 hours. Maybe there will be a clash. It could be, because sometimes I'm a fucking asshole too. But there was some really good interaction, and I really love this guy, because afterwards, after the show, I was talking to Snake. I said, you are going to love this guy, even if you have this misperception about what you think that
true.
he is. And he was listening to the episode, and he said, oh shit, this guy resonates so much with the shit I've been going through. So it's the same story, put it in another individual where you can resonate with as people. So when people listening to my episode, not to brawl about my episode, but when you listen to my episode and then dig into the stuff that he's presenting on like the firmamental, then you will have a value. You will have, oh wow, this is the man behind the mission.
Yeah. And that's all I was trying to convey to Snake as well, was like, hey, just give him a fair chance and hear what he has to say. He's not putting anyone down. He's just, he's just telling everyone they're wrong, and most of all Christians. Like, and for a young kid, he's so well read and so well studied. And me myself reading all that Zachariah Sitchin, the 12th Planet series, and learning all that ancient alien bullshit and the Sumerian stuff. It's like I was telling George Hobbs, even though it's all that guy's misinterpretation of ancient alien shit, the history and the landmarks and all that stuff, it applies to what Brandon's saying, and I can see it, and I can apply that symbolism to everything that's going on. Like, when you got them glasses on, it's like, holy shit, dude, it's all right there. It's like, I don't have to try to see it. It's all over everywhere. All these, jerks that control everything and what they're trying to do and all their symbolism, it's from all of them. It's, all these people that think they're connected and higher than thou, and they're these royal Nephilim bloodlines, and it's just like, damn. Just like Gary Wayne, you hear him, and sometimes it is the same shit over and over. And I got that way because sometimes they're doing a presentation, so if you listen to them on one podcast, you hear the same thing on another one. That was the same thing. Like Josh Monday, I love Josh. He did the same presentation on like 3 different podcasts. At least Brandon Kroll tries to add something new to it every time. Like you say, it's not just 3 hours on Christmas trees. He's going into depth on so many angles and getting into it. And for a young dude, yeah, I got to applaud him. Like, he's a badass dude.
Yeah, and Brandon,
I hear what you're saying, man.
Brandon, when you're listening to this episode, you have new friends within your circle.
Oh,
because
also, yeah, let me first and foremost say, dude, after hearing who Brandon Kroll is and where he came from, I love that guy. So if you're hearing this, Brandon Kroll, brother, dude, I appreciate you. I love you. I can't believe the kind of shit you've been through, because I've been through the same kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
Amen. That's what makes us fellow humans, man. That's what makes us fellow humans.
And I wrote him, I told him that, because that's the truth. Because if you've been through the kind of shit that guy experienced, your life is hard.
Yeah.
And I know what that guy went through, because I've been through that shit. And to see him talk like he did with Rob was illuminating to me. It was amazing. But that's what Rob always does with all of his interviews. He doesn't talk about like presentations and shit. He just gets to the center of who people are. And that's the kind of conversations I have with Rob all the time.
We have some deep shit going on, man.
Yeah, it's about who we are. Like, what the fuck are we here for?
Right.
And I don't know if it's natural or they've programmed us that way, but we just automatically, if someone's saying something we are different on, we want to battle it or tune it out or discredit them instead of just taking, hey, let's give them that fair opportunity. Say what you got to say. And there might be something in there you like, and there might not be. And you might just be like, that's all bullshit, whatever. But like a lot of the time,
well, that's the thing, Eric. That's why I fucking told Kroll, I'm sorry. I didn't know who he really was.
That's awesome, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna always make the fucking right decision.
Yeah, none of us will. That's growth, man. That's
yeah.
And I like, but the thing is you could tell people the reason somebody pissed you off and everything, but it doesn't matter, right? In the end.
Right.
Right. We're all
But
human
what
beings searching
matters is,
for
do you
love and
see, if
support.
you see, exactly, if you see somebody for who they really are, like Rob showed me, this guy's a good motherfucker. I
Yep.
have to tell this guy that I told that I made a mistake and I judged him the wrong way. And I
Mhm.
told him this.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now
Love
it's
that, man.
either, but the thing is that doesn't make me a good or bad person, right? It just makes me more real.
Makes you a
That's
person.
it. I don't know, man.
We
Oh
all
yeah,
have this. We all have this convicted without prejudice, right? It's something that seems to resonate with us or not. If we
But
walk into a
but
room,
Rob, you know what made me feel sad is this. This guy told me in that interview he has only two people that are his friends.
right?
And I listened to that. That shit touched my heart, man. Like, it's not about like how many people like revere you.
Hmm.
It's about who's like, dude, man, Rob, you're my fucking friend to the core, dude. And fucking Raul is that way. Alex is that way. All these people, I've got like multiple friends. This guy feels like he only has two friends. That's what made me feel sad, man.
Yeah.
yeah. I had that same experience with Mormon Rishi when he was on from a mental, and he said, "Oh, I wish I had friends like you in real life." And so
Oh, he's my friend too.
I immediately reached out to him. I said, "Dude, we're in the same town. Anytime you want to get a coffee, let's go. Like, I'm here." You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. That's what I told him. I met him like several years ago. I said, "You're my brother. I love you, man. What the fuck is your problem?" I yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like when the first time Raul called me and I answered the phone, and he's like, "Yeah, that's right. You're a real motherfucker because you'll pick up the." I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like, I'm not just trying to just message you and shit. Like, what do you need? Like, let's talk. Let's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
bro. Yeah,
We're only a few
yeah. He
hundred miles
called me.
away. We can meet up. Let's whatever you need. Like, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the
I
same
think
way I was with
that's
him.
the strongest thing that people need as a community where they can be who they are.
Yep.
But you have to know who they are before, if you only uh tell the same story all over again. Like we were talking before, and this guy, or like the 23 minutes in hell, stuff like that bullshit.
Yeah.
Talking to people that paid $10,000 for a ticket and having a $10,000 suit on, and his wife is like one head bigger than him. That makes no sense. For me, it doesn't. we were yeah, spitting fun about that guy all the time because it makes no sense. And if you really have something to tell, just like we do on the podcast, you don't need to monetize that because this is the church. You don't
Yeah.
need money, buildings, planes, Rolls Royces to spread the message, right? And but when you do that, when you're listening to a lot of people on episodes, it doesn't matter who, they all tell the same story, which is a very fascinating story, first of all. But when you're listening to it for the third or the fourth time, you're just like, oh, all right, I know I know where you've been through. I know the message. So what's the guy or the girl or the unicorn or the wanking dolphin or whatever behind that story? That really fascinates me about people, man. And that's why you connect to the heart and the real vibration of your heart with people, not
Yeah.
about the story or the things that they preach or the things that they've been.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of like the calendars and the messed up time, I was talking to this youngster at my work because he's just starting to get into all this stuff, and he was asking about the lunar calendar, the 13-month one, and I said, well, yeah, it's not just the proper calendar. The one we're on now is a solar one, and it's the same amount of days. They both, the lunar one has 364 with the extra day, which would be like April Fool's to mark the the new year, and ours is just a 365. But I think it's just like the Mayan calendars. They had multiple calendars when they had the whole BS about, oh, 2012, it's the end of the world. And people, well, no, it was the end of their age, the end of their era. And
Right.
their calendars, when you see it, are gears, just like the Antikytheric mechanism. The lunar and the solar calendar,
Eric,
you're supposed to work in cohesion.
Eric,
Yeah.
I thought about this, man. Their Mayan calendar was based on what, a 12,000-year-old cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
12,600 years or something like that. We're
Something
now
like that.
entering the age of Aquarius, or are.
Okay, listen to this, guys. If they fucked up by 8 years, that's possible, right? It's been accurate all the other time. Out of 12,000 and something, that's not a lot of fucking up, right?
Right.
Or did they leap year it on purpose?
Yeah, exactly, Eric.
Listen, man, they fuck up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
They fucked up everything, man.
But I'm saying, so maybe the end really is tomorrow.
Right.
But it's not the end of the world, it's the end of the age. Like I was saying, it's the end of the age.
Yeah.
Like you said, the age of Aquarius. The millionaires.
I thought about a lot of things you guys were saying, especially about the fucking eclipse and everything, dude. When the eclipse happens, shouldn't we see the moon before it eclipses the fucking sun?
Well,
but no, you can't see it.
Yeah. But what happens to the stars and the moon in the day? They disappear.
Right.
All of a sudden the fucking moon suddenly, oh, it's the moon passing in front of. Shouldn't we see the fucking moon coming in front of the sun? Like the moon has all these holes in it and shit, right?
Well, if you believe it's a rock.
I don't think it's a rock. It looks like a disc to me.
Yeah.
Right.
So check this theory. So they're in the firmament, right?
Right.
And the firmament, with the electromagnetism of our sun and our toroidal field, that's why it turns blue, because of the frozen oxygen. So you see the moon in the middle of the day, and you can see the blue coming through it. And when it's a new moon, you don't see it at all. And it's supposed to be there right near the sun. So it's
like an invisible moon.
Yeah, so I think what it is the moon gets charged up, and that's what's the funniest part is when it's a full moon, it's the farthest away from the sun. So you got this positive and negative. So it's charged up, and it's like two positive charges. It's pushing away. And then it's
cathode anode kind of
and then it spews all that energy out and gets close to the sun again and starts recharging up and then gets pushed away. So
duality.
Yeah, so it could easily be that we can't see it and it covers it up, but also it could be one of those other wandering stars, those other planets, the Mercury, Venus.
What
Mars,
about the black sun?
And it could be the black hole sun that you can't see. That's just all of a sudden
like from fucking like from the Soundgarden song.
Yeah, but not only that, I think that the Nazis were doing a lot of occultism about the black sun. I mean, Himmler has on his in his castle, the Wewelsburg. It's like 150 kilometers from here. I went there, not in the room yet, but I was on the castle, which is really funny because it's a triangle. It's only one of the only castles that's been shaped as a triangle. And he has a black sun in the middle of it because he thought that Germania was the middle point of Germania was there. But they did a lot of, if you play the games like Wolfenstein, like I did, almost all of them, they all point out like this other world, the viral, the occultism about the Nazis where they were dealing with. So there's some truth in that story because you can't suck that out of your thumb. You can't.
Like I was speaking on the Trinity earlier, there you go. They want it to be binary and duality. So we only think the sun and moon, and there isn't a third body.
Exactly. And there's always
them out. One's positive, negative, and then you have that third one that because it's electrons, protons, and neutrons. There's three. There's it's
always free. That's a trichicon, isn't that? That's the watermark you can see on ancient drawings. The spiral in three, the trichicon,
I can
and
see
that's
that.
all been made into before Christianity into paganism. These symbols were there. These were very powerful symbols, but been um, abused, just like the Nazis did with the Sieg Heil. If you look in pre-Nazi time, the greeting that Adolf Hitler did was a unifying salute for Olympics playing. When the Olympics played, they Sieg Heiled quite, but when he took it out and he said that this is my salute. Now you can do that, but what's wrong with what's wrong with that is another question, of course. But it's like if you put your hand in your jacket just like Napoleon did, if he was a little bastard motherfucker and everybody wouldn't agree with the history that he made, if he existed anyway. But that you can't put your hand in your pocket like this,
Well,
because that's
hey, Rob, you make a good point, man. But what I'm saying is this, dude. If we are starting to analyze, oh my God, did this guy do this? Oh, did this guy do this or fucking this or I don't know, dude. I believe in magical workings, dude. I know that's possible, but I think that the symbolism of old is something that people can look into indefinitely, right?
I
Like
think there's something
Aleister
to it, though.
Crowley, for
Yeah.
example, right? Like this guy's to me is a fucking retard, right? Uh, I don't think he's a real magician at all. Like a real magician would have to come from nothing. He would not have to be like subsidized by fucking hedge funds and shit.
Hmm.
He'd be dealing with real people. I think Jesus Christ was a real magician.
Yeah. A lot of the what's magic is just tricks and deception, illusions, and not. And so what you're talking about, the Nazi symbol, that's just the Big Dipper going around Polaris. It's just
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
every ancient culture
Yeah.
Knew that.
before that, Greek, Tibetan, Japanese, Aztec, Hindu, they all, all of
The
them.
wheel of life. It's the seasons. It's the wind. It's everything.
Well, then I want you to look at the sky.
But he perversed it.
They literally made it evil so you wouldn't check it out.
Exactly. And if you go to Angkor Wat, you see all these Buddhist monks with a swastika. The swastika is a very positive symbol. Even the swastika has been mentioned in Hebrewic. It's a symbol.
Yeah.
But because
Yeah, it's usually a symbol.
this failed painter called Adolf Hitler just put the symbol and put it a little bit on the side, that's a different symbol, right? That's a completely different symbol. It's like if I'm going to put out my middle finger, this is bad, which is ether. And when I point this finger out, it's a finger, but it's a different finger. It's my pointing finger, right? So yeah,
Same
I
way
think there's a lot of
this is good,
yeah, but
this is bad.
Fuck off.
Well, and it was the French telling the English, your bow fingers, we cut your bow fingers off, so now you can't bow.
Exactly. And because they did this, like you see, I still have them. And yeah. I love archery, man. I got some.
Me too. I just got a new bow, or not new, but new for me. My friend of mine, my old coworker, he had it, and we were talking one day. He's like, "You want mine?" So yeah, I can't wait to get it going.
Oh, cool. What's it? What's it gonna be? Like a takedown or a curve, recurve?
No, it's a compound.
Compound.
Yeah, yeah. I had a friend who I went to school with his younger brother. He helped develop one of these new broadhead tips that on impact, these three blades pop out as it's going through the animal and so he used to come into the bar and we would go to the archery shop down the street at night. I'd close the bar and we'd go down there and shoot all night. And then they would have a league on Wednesday nights that we would shoot at. And So he taught me, and then he moved away, and and then I just didn't shoot for a long time, and then it just conversation came up, and this guy I used to work with was like, "Hey, I got one. You want it?" And so he gave it to me. So I gave him a bottle of Jameson and a dinner gift card for his wife, and so yeah, I just gotta take it down the shop and get it tuned up and ready to go, and I'll be back shooting again.
Oh, wow. I got into archery like a half year ago when I bought a Samick takedown bow, my first bow. Never shot. Well, I did shooting on the shooting range with firearms and stuff like that. But I really loved into the archery, and it's just like the Samick is 35 pounds or so. It's starter, but it's really hard, because like a compound, you have this poundage, and then all of a sudden you have this now you can relax. But with a normal bear bow, it's just like you have to keep the force going. But you
Yeah.
can shoot like 40, 50, 60 meters
Yep.
with a compound. That's no issue at all because it's fast as lightning. But
And
I
it's
don't
just
like the looks.
right. Yeah, I'm not. I don't. The aesthetic doesn't bother me. I grew up shooting guns my whole life, but a bow is different. Like when you have that sighted in, and you see it, the arrow fly and hit that target. It's just a different feeling. It's it takes you back. It's like some ancient
Yeah,
barbaric hunter gatherer. It's just it's like when you hear a song and it takes you back. It's just like that feeling. I don't know. There's just something about it. It's just different than shooting a gun. It's so much
absolutely.
more fulfilling.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to hunt with a bow or to shoot more on targets. One of the main things while I got this bow, we have no restriction on air guns. So you can have an air gun here in the Netherlands that shoots probably a cow from a mile away with a .50 with no restriction. You only have to show your driver license that you're 18 years old. But with firearms, what I dealt with, you have a lot of restrictions, which is some kind of good, but because you don't give that to a retard, right? To a stupid idiot. But the restrictions were so bad and the money it cost to shoot were so immense, I had to get rid of that. But then I was using this air gun, but on where I live, you can't go outside even with an air gun because people say, "Oh, somebody with a gun," and it makes a lot of noise and a lot of impact. So when I could shoot through things and stuff like that, and then I'm thinking like a bow. I can shoot the bow from here. I make my own targets in my house.
Yeah.
And it's fast, it's primitive. It's like you said, that the real thing is going on when you point that thing on something. And I eventually made my own bow from a stick of a willow, but it cracked down yesterday because I was trying to push the maximum minimum out of it. And I knew there was little dents in it, just like, maybe it's gonna crack, and I just cracked. But I'm gonna make a few another ones because I like to work with wood. It makes me so zen, to strap the wood with a knife and to carve it and stuff like that. And Snake knows that I do some carving with the stick that I have where I'll walk with. So I ground directly when I walk with
Exactly.
my stick.
Yep.
That's something that makes me zen, man.
I
But yeah,
want to be your American ambassador for the wooden shoes, brother.
oh yeah, I
Like,
was
get the
freak.
wooden shoes going, man.
Oh man, I have to tell you that after the episode with Billy Bond, shout out to the Permaculture podcast, I searched the internet for companies in the Netherlands that will ship me some wooden shoes to Billy.
Hell
Well, the
yeah.
shoes are between $20 and $40 or something like that. Depends on what kind of branch or whatever.
Mhm.
But the shipping costs were like more than €100. So I pointed out to a Dutch shop, an online shop in America, which has all the food and stuff like that, and also the wooden shoes. So hopefully he's gonna purchase someone, and he's gonna make a picture out of it when he's gonna walk.
Yeah.
Because I'm normally only walking in wooden shoes here. Not when I go to the village, but when I'm here in my home, I'm barefoot or walking around with wooden shoes.
It's just one of those things. When I was over there, I just never. It just, the concept didn't resonate, and I just was young and couldn't, young and dumb, and I'm like, now I'm like, I could have had some authentic ones to bring back, and
Right.
what I was missing out on, like that, it's one of those kind of regrets, like some of the places I've been when I was so young, and it's like I look back now, like I was right there, I could have went and saw this, I was right there, I could have went and saw that, like it's like, oh, if I would have known then what I know now, but that's the, growing
Yeah.
pains, and
Yeah.
I was just thinking I would sent you that Dutch fighter, the Netherlands fighter that won the UFC a few weeks back, and he had that great quote: "If it ain't Dutch, it ain't much."
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that
well,
one.
we could do a deal, license his quote on there, put that on the shoes. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd
I
be a
was I was
little,
thinking about buying some new ones, paint them as I did with the things that I have now, then bring it to someone that could print it.
yeah.
So you will have your wooden shoe, and then just put the but it's very wrong, very strangely shaped, right? So I can do two things. Like one is with like a sticker to put it on. The other thing would be handcrafted every single one. But yeah, probably when I'm gonna going to America, I will have one little suitcase with one skirt and a pair of shoes and a pair of socks, and then
Right.
one big container with all wooden shoes. You know,
But that's what my father used to do. When he would go down to like Mexico and stuff, he'd take a bunch of things that was hard to get down there. He'd take a bunch of Levi's 501s and different jeans and shirts and stuff, and he'd trade. And
right,
my friend's stepfather, he did that too. Went to a cheap little hardware store here, bought this really nice chisels and wood carving kit, because they have the guys down there on the beach carving amazing sculptures on the beach, and then you buy them for nothing, but it's getting them back that costs the money.
right.
So he was down there with this, kit that cost him, 30, $40. But down there, it's they don't have a really nice chisel and carving kit like that. Trades it for a, $300 statue that he just has to get back in his suitcase.
Huh.
So he
I don't
gets
know what
this.
the regulations are if I'm gonna show up on the airport with one luggage and one big container of wooden shoes. I don't know.
Well, since it's not food, or what I mean, they're pretty lenient on stuff like that because it's be considered clothing, I guess.
Right. But why does it cost like $100 to ship it over? It doesn't make any sense because I had some products from America, like where they screwed me up with the taxes on a border police. But it was something like I think it was like $10 or $15 to ship it here to the Netherlands. And
I think it's
what
the
about the free trade anyway? When you can get stuff in, because it's a wooden shoe, for God's sake. It's a it's not something like high value luxury stuff,
I think it's just the tariffs, and they've monopolized and screwed all that up with Walmart and everything. That's why the little man can't compete now, because you can't, because now they can go to a manufacturer, they're going to
Right.
order a million units, and so a mom and pop store, they can't order on that size of a load, so
No.
they're not even going to talk to them, because why, you're only going to order 100 units, that's going to cost us more than shipping this million units, so
Right.
it's the space on the ship, the containers, that's why, it's, if
What
if
about? Can you
Walmart,
guys hear me?
Yeah.
yeah, if it
What
was
about the containers crashing into bridges?
yeah,
Well, probably I have to see. I know that they do it machinery, right? So they have like 10 sizes, and they have one
Yeah,
model, and this machine is putting on this model. Very
yeah,
like old school shit, not with lasers and stuff, but because it's finding the model, the other model's been carved. So
yeah,
maybe, especially now, because we've been we've been the new ambassadors of the wooden shoes for America and for grounding and stuff like that. And for
Yes.
these are S5 shoes, you know. You can have them here on a construction site because they have every safety aspect you can think about. They're warm, they're cold, whatever. But maybe we have to bring these machineries into a factory into America and make American-made wooden shoes.
Yes.
Oh fuck! This is like a $20 million idea already on the podcast.
I got a guy that works a wood mill. I should, it'd be
Ask
like
him.
I need to find a blueprint for one and say, hey, what is this going to take to make? Like I'll look for that, or see if you can find me a blueprint or something, a design.
Right.
You send that to me, I can hand that to him, and he can probably make it. So, like, they make all sorts of different crazy stuff. It's obviously a wood mill. They do all just like at my shop where we cut the aluminum into the sprockets. They're
Right.
using
Yeah.
same stuff to do wood. So like he'll do me a 3D carved out skateboard deck of I could do your logo on it. You know what I mean? I could do
Right.
the logo on it as long as it's not too complicated and too intricate.
I'm
So
gonna send you a link. I'm gonna
yeah,
send you a link from the YouTube video that I saw how they do it with the model and the carving and stuff. And probably already he has that kind of equipment already, or he needs to dig into more. And I can be uh, getting in between.
Liaison.
Yeah, because I think the world is ready to get back to the old stuff,
oh
just
yeah.
like these wooden shoes. I mean, there
Should
are
we get
so
someone
many.
like Billy Bond pushing it? He could be the East Coast guy, and I'll be the West Coast guy.
You know,
Yeah,
and if you want to have a real authentic, unique pair of Disorganized Productions painted with the galaxies that even NASA would be
yeah.
fucking, jealous about, you can have that one, fellow human. It's gonna cost you a little bit, but you have some very interesting, unique footwear that's gonna ground you every single time. You can walk on every surface of the world. You have warm feet in the winter. You have cold feet in the summer, and it's good for your feet also because it's very ergonomic. Or what's it called? Ergonomic, yeah.
That's
That's
right.
all we need.
Ergonomic.
That's all we need is you. There's your infomercial right there, and then you throw a little guitar lick on it. Boom, it's sold.
Yeah, band.
Right. And that's going to be the slogan. If it ain't Dutch, it ain't much.
Yep, exactly. If it ain't Dutch, it ain't much. Like you come in, ta-da! Hello, fellow human. You need to rock and roll with the soul.
All right. All right. Yeah, I love that. And
Yeah.
Eric, probably you heard that, but I was talking on Vika's podcast on the heliopsychosis. And Vika asked me the same questions that I asked my listeners also, and I struggled with that a lot.
I wanted
But
to do that today because I was just for thinking for your audience that might have not heard that episode. I was like, well, I want to throw a little curveball at Rob and maybe see if we can
gosh,
get him to do the questions. So let's have you and Snake do the questions today.
oh,
Yeah. Well,
well,
really good.
I just fed
Yeah.
my snake, fellow
we
human.
we can do that. We can do that. The one of the questions is what kind of clothing you like to wear the most, and I told him a skirt, right? Because I'm walking around in skirts, and not like a sissy dressed, unicorn wanking dinosaur or whatever. Like a kilt, but a little bit different. And for the listeners, this is going to be a premiere, no, like exclusive content.
Yeah.
You have to say
I'm
primer.
Yeah, I'm developing a skirt, and yesterday I was at the lady that works with the concept with me, and I have two skirts, one shorter and one longer. Um, it needs a little bit more adapting, but it's gonna be so fucking amazing. It has everything that you need. It's easy to dress up with because it doesn't matter what kind of how big you are or whatever. It doesn't matter. So it's one size fits all concept with some cool stuff that's been going on, and that's a project that I'm working on also, and hopefully with a little bit of uh, good vibes into the universe. I think like May or June could be a possibility that I'm going to bring it on the market.
Awesome.
I'm working with so when the concept is done, I need to go to find the right fabric, right?
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine who lives 40 miles away, 40 kilometers away in Eindhoven, and she has like more than 24,000 fabrics on in their shop. And now the funny thing comes, and the great thing comes. One of my friends, he's a graffiti artist and a mural. He does that stuff. He has one of his murals printed on a fabric, and I
Nice.
want to work with the fabric that I'm going to point out, like a very nice exclusive wool or linen, like a real nice stuff that's
So
gonna,
artificial. Yeah.
yeah. And probably with the backside is going to be printed with this graffiti shit from my friend. That's my idea right now,
Sounds
and
awesome.
that's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah. So they did a kilts have been blowing up here the last few years in America. They did a line, some company did a line of like utility kilts.
Mm,
Have like some pockets and different things on them, real
right.
more tactical or utility. And so those would sell, dude. Yeah, you should definitely do it. And then there's a whole another culture of that, especially in Utah. So the second largest Hawaiian population in the world is in Salt Lake City because the Mormons brought so many of the Hawaiians over here and because they help them out so much through the church and stuff. And so they
Right.
all wear a wrap. It's a I can't remember the name of it, but it's
So
just
wrong?
a sarong, kind of like a sarong type. Yeah, it's a wrap they wear. And so, you could capture that market too.
Right. I know that the concept I have is something like, I know that the brand name, I know what I'm up to. I'm walking around with a skirt and nobody, well, people look funny to me, but I don't give a shit. That's one of the, it's some kind of attitude, like the punk in the early days. You walked around with tear trousers or with some offended t-shirt, and I didn't give a shit. But the thing is, it has so much more meaning to what you wear and so much more freedom for everything, free willy, but it's also for your fertility. It's warm. I've been walking around in a linen cloth in the winter, and I have warm legs instead of when I'm using trousers. I have it cold. I need to move to get warm.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it has, of course, from a Scottish perspective of the kilt, which was a fabric like 5 to 6 meters long, the long kilt. But that's very expensive. First of all, second of all, it's they slept with it, right? So they had nothing else than that kilt, but it had so many purposes. And what I want to do now is to make it on a rock and roll way as I am, a little bit disorganized, of course,
Yeah.
but with an attitude. Just not like, oh, hey, mom, I see a guy with tattoos and a beard walking around in a skirt. What a fucking sissy. No, when that sissy is going to turn around, you're going to think, whoa, he's going to rip my fucking head off, first of all. Second of all, it looks fucking cool.
Yep.
It's not something like, oh, he wants to be a trans or dressed up, whatever. It's something like,
Rob, you're a fucking crazy motherfucker. That's why I love you.
some say I'm crazy. I guess I'll always be.
That's why the
No,
Scottish
you are,
that's why
dude.
the
Like
Scottish
you're
and
the
Irish
crazy.
English ass because they were
So you
talking
see, Eric?
the Scottish, that's why
But
the and the
Wait,
Irish.
listen to
Snake, hold
Rob
on.
talk.
Snake, hold on.
I was just gonna say that's why the Scottish and the Irish would always kick the English ass because they were talking shit about the kilts and then they get wrecked on. And they never conquered them until they started importing Spanish and Viking soldiers to help them out, bribing them.
Exactly. And you know why God made them Irish drink?
Because they'd rule the world.
Exactamundo.
That's fucking funny, man. I had to feed my snake, and I'm like, dude, people always tell me, why the fuck do you take care of snakes, man? And I hear it all the time. Done this for over 30 years. And then at the same time, people would ask me, why the fuck are you friends with Rob?
I think
It's the same.
the best thing that Snake ever pointed out to me is this. How could snakes be bad while I was having them in my bathroom and stuff like that, you know, and I'm in their territory. They don't fuck me up. But what about if you're walking across the mall and you just took a single human being out, just like, you know, grab him? Well, what would you do? They're probably gonna fuck you up, right? Snakes don't
They
do that.
will. They
Yeah.
don't.
I see it like this. Everyone has animals they're connected to, you know, because we were supposed to take care of this world. We're supposed to be the dominion. So there's different people that are connected to different animals because those are the ones that they were supposed to be helping. You know what I mean? You were just supposed to be the snake guy. Lots of people are supposed, you know, Tyler's supposed to be the dog guy. The crazy cat lady is supposed to be the cat lady. You know, people have different, you know, I'm the chicken man. There's just people are
Hey,
connected.
where's the crazy cat lady you're talking about? We want her on the
We want that
podcast.
pussy.
Going on every corner, man. I got one down the street.
Oh yeah, the one that sits behind the window that does this.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm a big cat lover too. I got a
I'm gonna
black
get-
pan. I got a black panther and a wolf with me, 100%. When I'm walking down the forest, there's a wolf with me. I think maybe it's one of the wolves that's been in the pagan with Odin, you know, Frenanir.
Oh, direwolf? You mean direwolf?
yeah.
I don't know
Like
what.
a fucking direwolf, dog.
Let me see. Let me see.
You know, like from Game of Thrones and shit, like a fucking direwolf.
No, I think it's Frenir. Frenir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frenir
Another R
wolf.
might be silent.
Fenrir.
Yeah,
Fenrir
Fenrir.
is the son of the god of Loki.
Yeah.
He's the brother of Hel, the goddess of the underworld, and Midgardsormr. The
Oh, I
Midgard.
mean, just like the Egyptian doghead god Anubis. It's
Oh,
all the
yeah.
same shit, man.
Oh yeah, but it's
Hey,
all
man.
connected. That's what I
Yeah.
said to Brandon also. What if, and I talked to Snake to that before, what if pagans or other religions before Christ or before the Bible didn't write things down, but gave it from ancestor to ancestor, you know, to generation to generation. But all of a sudden, people came with a little bit intellect that could write stuff down and wrote the story down. But it all makes sense because we all got cat figures, we got wolves, we got fish, we got all that stuff
Hey,
going on.
bro. What about Dogman, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Did you
God.
watch the one I sent you about the dog kingdom from John Levi? That one's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some shit showing up like it's like Dogman, and all of a sudden that shit's making fucking uh what's that guy's name? Um oh fuck.
Tyler? You mean Tyler? No.
Not Tyler. He doesn't talk about Dogman that much. He talks more about like fallen angel shit. Um
The Sasquatch Chronicles guy, or
oh no, the most famous one that talks about shit. What the fuck is his name?
About dogs?
Dog
Yeah, he
Man?
talks about dog. Like they're always trying to hunt dog. Who's that guy?
I don't
Oh,
know.
right.
You know what I'm talking about? Like he's connected to the most famous people in the podcasting world,
Yeah.
and everybody tries to get on his show, dude.
Yeah.
Confessionals, that guy. He's always talking about Dogman, dude.
Yeah,
That guy.
exactly.
What the fuck is his name?
I'm gonna find it for you.
What you're talking about, I just can't. I'm not that. I've heard a couple of his
Yeah,
shows.
yeah. And he's always connected to Sam Tripoli and all that shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, dude, like people want to know about paranormal things. I could tell you guys about paranormal things, but I'm
Oh
not
yeah,
going to make money off of that shit, right?
yeah.
Like if you want to make money off of it, you're kind of a fucked up person,
Well,
in my opinion.
shout out to Firmamento for getting what's her name, Karen Wilkerson, the UFO lady, before Sam
Oh
Tripoli, and a
yeah.
much better interview.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was bad. I love Raul, dude. That guy's amazing, man. He's my brother.
And
Yeah,
But
Alex
I'm
too,
talking,
man. Oh, I love
uh,
Firmamental. And
yeah.
yeah, Alex and Raul, dude. They are amazing. But I'm talking about the confessionals and this group of people, man,
right. It's
trying to
like
act like
you're talking to a
they
disorganized production, but also to the European chapter of the Firmamental, of course, my ladies and gentlemen. So protect your
yeah.
dome.
That's right. We're the
Yeah,
unofficial.
but I was seeing these fucking clowns act like they know what paranormal is. If you are trying to fucking profit off of paranormal, you're not fucking paranormal, motherfuckers.
Right.
And that's why I'm just not like representing what they're doing because that's fucking bullshit, dude. If you really want to see paranormal shit, I'll tell you how to see it. I'll tell you what to do it. But if you get into it, you're probably not going to get out of it. You're going to get shit in it.
Right. Do you think that the encounters that you had, Snake, with the paranormal was because you were living in a haunted house, or
Well,
because you?
it's because I hated people, bro.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I
is it
had this shit.
is it that this entity that you showed up and that you pointed out on the podcast also with Shane Jones about the picture you made with this entity on the back?
It's still
Is it
with me right now.
wait, is it something that you have been asked for to be there, or was it already in the house because something happened in that house?
It's a combination of both.
Right.
I was wondering
It's a
that.
combination of it's a combination of me telling this entity that it's not it doesn't have a right to be perceived and that it's a piece of shit and I insulted it and it told me, motherfucker, you think I'm a piece of shit? I'll show you that I'm not.
Right.
That's what I was
That's what
wondering
I
too.
did because I threatened the motherfucker, right? And it showed me it's real.
Yeah, I was wondering too if it was the apartment or if it was that you had opened yourself up to be receptive of it by challenging
It's a
it,
combination. It's a
being in
combination of
that,
both
being in that negative space.
because well, I was like you guys at one point, right? Both of you guys had this like kind of like agnostic uh perception of good and evil, right? Like both of you guys went through that shit. And that period of my life, I did not believe God is anything or gave a shit about any of us.
Right.
Mm.
And that's why I would drive to Joshua Tree and pick this uh person up, this witch, right? Because I was willing to risk everything that I've ever had in my life. I didn't care. I was ready to die, brother. I didn't fucking give a shit. And
Right.
that person that I picked up was not a bad person. The bad person was me. It doesn't matter if that was a witch or whatever, right? But when I brought that person back, there was an energy in my place that I displaced purposely. And I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, so that's what I
And
was
they
wondering.
came,
That energy may have started affecting you as a younger person, and then once you got to that place on your own, it's like, okay, now his parents and no one's here. I've got him all to myself, where I can really use his energy to manifest and attack him and show him what's what.
Right.
it's never going to leave me, man. But the thing is I don't know if that's the case. Yeah, I've been through some bad shit when I was a kid too. But what went on in that apartment was just beyond uh It was beyond explanation. Like it was so terrifying
But when
that
you picked up the Ouija board that's been made for you by this witch, she told you not to do that shit, and you said, "Oh, oh,
yes,
I can
exactly.
deal with that."
Well,
Well,
that's the thing.
then shit happened.
That's why you guys don't want to fucking mock witchcraft because witches aren't bad people. Witches are good people actually. But if you like arrogant, like a Christian moron or something, um, these energies can come into your life. I'm immune to it now because I've been through it, right? But if you're not psychologically equipped to deal with it,
Mhm.
these things can drive you insane
Oh
Right.
yeah,
easily.
they can tear you down.
So
I was
I
thinking too.
but I've seen it in physically in form, and I've seen that they could actually physically move objects and all this shit. But I think it's a mistake to jump into being a Christian or something after you witness this because that's misdirection.
Yeah,
Right.
I was thinking too.
I think
Was
that
there
the
multiple?
pagans.
I was
Go ahead,
thinking.
bro.
I was thinking too. Was there multiple? Because you said it said a name, and then when you went to look up that name, threw an object at you, and then in the picture you thought it was like this old lady. So I was thinking,
It's just
was maybe the
terrifying to
old lady. Yeah. So
think
was the
about,
old
bro.
lady reaching out to you and exposing that other dude that may have killed her? And these two entities were having a war, and one was trying to show you a way to help it, and the other one was preventing that, saying, "No, I'll do to you what I did to this other person."
That that's a astute observation. I don't know if that's exactly what took place, but I will tell you. Uh, I think the best perception of what I went through is described by Nathaniel Gillis on um, Rob's episode. That guy has some ability to see what's going on. I don't know. He looks evil as fuck, but he's a cool dude and
Yeah,
he's
he
smart
is.
as fuck.
Love
Like
him, man.
he's one of the smartest people that I've ever heard speak about this phenomenon. And
And
I know, man, nobody describes it better than him because these things actually they morph your perspective into terrorized states, man.
it's fascinating what he brought up in a podcast that there are entities that could make a baby, right? Without the
Yeah,
woman knowing it. Maybe the woman has some intercourse in her dream, but then has a baby. And there are stories about that. And before the baby is born, it's been taken away. So
yeah.
that brought us
Well,
back to what we were talking about, Snake, is about Mary who got pregnant from a Holy Ghost. And that's what I want to dig into in part two with Nathaniel Gillis about what about that Jesus Christ was put in there by the Holy Ghost by another perception than we think that he is, because that's
yeah, I talked
fascinating.
to that guy about that, man.
It's
But
fascinating.
I got to be careful about religious shit because I don't know if any of that shit's true. But I talked to Nathaniel about that. But the thing is I can only relate to you guys my experiences in dealing with the paranormal. And my experiences were like this, man. I'm not going to fucking integrate the Bible into it and all this shit. I'm telling you, I just woke up. There's something freezing me. Like I can't move my body and it's shaking me like electricity, right? That's what it felt like. And next thing, I see this motherfucker pulling my arm up against the wall. I have no control over. and then suddenly it's gone, right?
Right.
Like this is the kind of things that were going on. And I thought that I was just sleeping.
Mm.
That's how it started. But it was after I fucked with that Ouija board and I told them that none of them are real. They need to show me that they're real. What happened is it happened immediately. Is these things they come up and they show you that they're real. So now picture this, man. Like if you were in an amusement park and they put you on a roller coaster, right? But there was no things to hold you to the roller coaster. That's the feeling you get when these things attack you.
Wow.
It's so terrifying and so incredibly crazy. It's like cool to talk about it, but when you're going through it, it's not cool.
Oh no. Oh.
It's terrifying. So, bro, I fucked around with that Ouija board and I told these things that they're all fucking fake. The witch told me not to do this, right? I said, fuck you, bitch. I'll do what I want, right? Real punk rock of me.
Real stupid too.
Yeah. I had another thought as well. You know, at that time in your life, you weren't, you know, you were rejecting a creator. You were, you know,
I wasn't rejecting a creator. I just didn't give a shit, brother, because if you live like on the streets all the time and you're going from place to place, it's not about like rejecting a creator. You just don't give a fuck about life.
well, that's what I was gonna say is maybe it, you know, because we talk about this, is it good or is it evil? This thing may have not been evil. It may have just been a messenger from the creator to show you, hey,
Well,
look,
I think it was.
there's
I
a
think it
whole
was
nother level
scared.
beyond you.
Right.
Well, I think it was scared, and I'll tell you why. Uh, First of all, this person I picked up from Joshua Tree was a cool person, but she was a practicing witch, and I was a guy that didn't give a fuck about anything. You know, I'm just like, well, fuck. You know, you got to pay your bills and get through the day or whatever. And she took like a glass, right, from uh, a what a fucking entertainment center. She took a glass out and she told me, bring me to the convenience store or whatever, the fucking Michaels or whatever. And she bought these cloths and stuff and this acid so she can etch
Yeah.
into this glass a Ouija board.
Right.
And then she had a crystal. And I never seen any Ouija board like this, man. I never seen nothing like this. So I was like, dude, I didn't give a shit because I didn't believe in anything, right? I was like, dude, I'll fuck around with your Ouija board. I don't give a fuck. So one of these nights I sat there and I said, all of you demons or whatever, you're all fake. You're all fucking don't exist. And you never did exist. And you're all fucking pussies and you're all fucking pieces of shit. And you can't do nothing to me. And she was telling me, stop doing that or something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck yeah, right. Nothing's going to happen because this is all hocus pocus.
Shit happened.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. I tried to go to sleep, right? Fucking I was laying on the bed and something woke me up and I couldn't move, right? And people will talk about sleep paralysis and shit, but this didn't make any sense to me, man. Because not only was I awake and I couldn't move, I could see what's going on around me. And I seen that there was something behind the blinds covering the sliding glass door, dude. It was a bump, right?
Right.
Like a body.
Yeah, like something was hiding, right? But the feeling of terror is so incredibly high, brother. I can't e- I can't describe it to you.
And yeah, and so I'm just coming from the angle that it might have just been a message to like, hey, this is might be the only way we can reach you to show you that hey, there's a whole nother level, that there is a creator, that there are things outside of your realm and other creations, and the only way
Ah,
you
man.
believe that
Honestly, brother, I wasn't thinking about that. I felt like a tiger was going to fucking kill me, man.
yeah,
That's the feeling, right? Like
yeah,
if a
that moment. But I mean, now to
like
look,
if a fucking bear was in the fucking room and you don't even know how the fuck it got in there. That's the
Hmm.
feeling.
oh yeah,
That's how
Eric, what?
powerful the fear was. You're not even thinking about God or nothing. It's
Right.
like you encountered something from actually the feeling would be as if a grizzly bear was suddenly in the room with you. Like that's what it felt like.
Right.
Like, oh dude. But at the same time, it didn't want me to look at it.
Hmm.
It was hiding behind the fucking Venetian blind.
What did you want to point out, Eric? Just a second before.
oh, I was just saying that I get that in that moment it was so terrifying and so that, but then to reflect back on it, you were in that state like these aren't real, they can't mess with me, and then it's like we said, is it good or is it evil, or was it just a message sent to you as a reality check?
Hmm.
Because that would be the only way you could believe it, or what I mean. It
Right.
I say it's like just like when you're trying to explain flat earth to different people, you got to use science on some people. For biblical people, you got to go biblical. For different things, there's different messages. So like even in the story of Jesus, he had to use different miracles and magicianal things to convince different people. It never says in that book that he partook of the wine or anything, but
Hmm.
to get that certain group to believe he said who he was, he had to turn that water into wine, because that was the only thing that would have connected them and made it resonate with them. So I'm just saying you might have been in that space where nothing else was going to get through to you, that there's a spiritual realm, that there's a creator, that there's these other things other than this traumatic experience to kind of shake you and wake you up, to hit you with that lightning bolt. Like, listen, look at this shit. You know, you're a
Yeah,
part.
but that's not what
You
it
are a
was.
part of this.
Is it maybe
That was
something that I was pointing out with the show with Milton, that when he said maybe God is hiding from us, and all of a sudden the light came up, that if you are dealing with these kind of creatures or whatever, or entities, that if you want them to summon them to be there and to show them, that they will.
yeah, perhaps it's something like that. But what I'm telling you is like, yeah, I think it has to. Man, I seen this fucking thing, right?
Hmm.
Fucking hiding behind the fucking blinds. It fucking I looked at it. It came out of the blinds when I when I seen that I noticed it. It came out like an explosion, and it just like manifested in the room as like a swirling mass of black shadows or something. And it took my ability to be conscious and put it on the floor.
Yeah, like you said, it separated you from yourself.
Yeah, but I think it was terrified like I was, right?
You think you're still connected with that?
Yeah, it's a part of me.
So we need to be hopping on a second part with Nathaniel, Gillis, and you to get
Yeah,
rid of that.
No, I won't get rid of it because I think that you shouldn't disregard darkness inside of yourself.
But that's true. But it's a different story when the darkness overwhelms you, and sometimes.
It overwhelms all of us, brothers.
Yeah, but it depends on how you're dealing with it, right? If you choose to walk the path and see the light again, or
But what I think is it's a hypocrisy to think that light is greater than dark. But at the same time, in dealing with this creature, I kicked this fucking ass in my own uh, situation, but it threw me back into my body. And when it did, it was holding on to my arm. And the way it felt was like electricity.
is that the
But the
same
thing,
creature that you talked about to your friend that said that's bullshit, and that you
yeah,
said to
yeah,
him,
he was making a lot of fun of me, telling me I'm a fucking pussy and stuff. And granted, this guy was a tough dude. I wrestled with him. I'm a pretty good wrestler, and he could kick my ass. And I'm not some guy that hides shit. Like this guy was a fucking badass wrestler. He came to California. He beat everybody in California. He was so good. They sent him to nationals, and he was from Iran. For some reason, Iran has great wrestlers, right? I know. I wrestled this guy. He's fucking tough, right? But he was telling me I'm a fucking pussy about the shit I was going through. I was like, all right, dude, let me tell you something, man.
He
I
ate
said,
those.
you're my bro. I said, you're my brother, but where I live is fucking haunted, motherfucker. So if you could stay there by yourself, I'm going to the city, hang out with my friends and family for the night, and you witness the shit. And he said, ha, you're a fucking pussy. I could deal with it. I said, yeah, right. I went to another city waiting for this motherfucker to freak out because I know the shit's real, right? And I wait till 3 a.m. That's for some reason that shit always happened at that time. 3 a.m. on the dot. This guy calls me up, freaked the fuck out, and says, what the fuck is going on in your apartment? I said, I told you, motherfucker. I ain't lying to you. He said, there's some fucking thing that attacked me that looks like a fucking alien. I said, man, I've been telling you this the whole time. You've been calling me a pussy. And he said, man, I believe you. He said, I was so fucking scared. I couldn't even wash my face before I ran out the fuck out of your apartment. I said, I told you. What did you see? And he's like, oh, there was letters on all your walls that were symbols that were glowing. And something came up to me and told me before she dies, you need to run out of this fucking place.
Shh.
And so that's why I was thinking it could have been, when it gave you that name, he was the one that killed the other one. And
Right.
so,
I don't know, man, because that shit happened later. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
I was like, out of like several fucking things, like, you can't tell if you're going to sleep and see him, or you can't tell if you're going to wake and see him because they can go into your dreams and your waking reality and they can make you seem like a fucking lunatic, right?
Right.
Like whatever these things are. So I was like that when that happened, when the thing came like a tornado and shit. Like I thought I was crazy, right? Like how the fuck does something pull you out of your body, throw you on the fucking floor, and make you fight with it, throw you back in your body? You start to go to back to sleep, but it wakes you up, and you're still in a dream and you're thinking you're in your place, but you're still sleeping, right? And so it was doing this kind of shit to me. Like you wake up, you're
Wait,
in a dream in your place, and it looks like reality, bro.
oh yeah.
And
That's
you
powerful,
walk,
man.
you're going to the bathroom, and you see something that looks like a woman, like in the bathroom, and then suddenly you're back in your bed. Like this was doing this to me over and over again. And then it started to take like physical objects, like my wallet, my fucking keys and all this other stuff and moving them into cups inside the fucking cupboard and shit. So
Uh-huh.
you can't tell the difference between observable reality and dream world. And then suddenly I have this dream, right? I'm trying to go to sleep and it's the same thing. It's like a terrifying state, right? And you wake up, you're in a bathroom and all these toilets are like flushing. You're like, what the fuck? It's like a public bathroom. And this thing walks out. It's like 7 feet tall. I don't know, man. I still remember its face, blonde hair. It was wearing a flannel. It had jeans on. It looked like a monster, and its eyes were pure black. And it told me its name is Peter Dean, right? I'm like, what the? So I wake up again. So you have to understand, you start to lose the differentiation between seeing reality and dream world. This is what these things can do to you.
And
That's
so,
powerful, man.
yeah, brother. And what I'm doing when I just hear your story of this is picking these pieces out where you're having the one dream about the old lady, and then you got this Peter whatever dude. I think he did something to her, and
Right.
she's
Well, I think that's a
she's
good
showing you
point.
that fear. That fear
Well,
you're
listen to
feeling
this.
is her.
Listen to this, bro. So I start to fucking research this shit, right? Like this is rudimentary beginning of online. And I wanted to find out what this Peter Dean motherfucker is, right? So I'm looking at the shit online, and I kid you not, man. I'm sitting there. This I had these juggling balls across the room. One of them flies up off the floor like somebody threw, like a baseball player would throw it, right?
Yeah.
It just missed my head. Boom. It hit the fucking wall. And then I realized that this like line between dream world and real world can be crossed. And whatever this thing is has the power to move objects, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I ran the fuck out of there, man. I just said, fuck this. I can't be in this place anymore. If it can pick up something and throw it, what the fuck can that thing do with me?
Well, I mean, just like it grabbed you and it separated you. I think the one was trying to show you the fear and what happened to it. The other one was trying to prevent you from discovering what it did to the other and break that cycle. That way, because if you could, because how many times in like a ghost movie or something like that is where they break that cycle
Right.
and one spirit's freed and the other one's, screwed over. I think
Hey,
it was
bro,
trying to
it
prevent
got
you
so
from doing
bad that they didn't care if I was fucking dreaming. Like literally
Yeah.
right in front of me.
Right.
Like I seen purple, black mist twisting coming out of the ground. Like, all right, dude, I don't know what the fuck I did, but this is a problem at this point because I'm sitting next to this witch, right? And I said, I'm not going to tell you what I see. You're going to tell me because I think I'm going crazy, right? And she described exactly what I see, man.
Right. Well, hey, you ever want to break it down with my wife? She's got like a ton of these books and she can interpret dreams and stuff. So,
All
Well,
right.
this is
Yeah.
like 20. Well, this is like 20 something years ago, brother.
it don't
Like,
matter.
But do you think that the entity is still connected with you, or does it still live in the, well, let's say, haunted house?
well, that entity right now would be scared of me because between the time I met it and who I am now, I went through so much hell and my spirit is so coarse and dangerous, it could not be around me
Right. Right.
And from
because
your
I've
story,
evolved.
I hear two entities. I think you got caught in the middle of a battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that
One
was a
night,
long time ago.
so something happened at 3 o'clock, and that, and because I'm going to say that is, I'm looking at YouTube at Dark Ghost and Tim Morozov, which gonna these are, I think one of them is Russian and one of them is Polish, and they go to these so supposed haunted houses, and they record everything with EMFs and
Well,
stuff like that.
hey, Rob, I'm telling you one thing right now, man. If they seen what I seen, they would not do that.
Yeah, okay, but what they try to point out is that there's something else than our world that we're living, because there's paranormal, and they've been thrown with knives, things start to shake, paranormal things happen. And I'm not saying that it's the same thing that you encountered, uh but I think there's also something that if we want something to be achieved, or we mock something, or maybe say you're not real, whatever entity that is, and when it shows up, you will have respect for it, right? Or it could fuck you up.
Well, I didn't have respect for it. I just had to fight with it, right? I fought with it for fucking a long time.
Yeah, but
And
you asked Mike Tyson, please show me that you're the best boxer. He's gonna fuck you up, and then you've been thrown out in the ring, and you stand up and just like, oh
yeah,
fuck, now
but
I have to
the thing
battle it,
is
right?
everybody knows what Mike Tyson is, right? You see that motherfucker all the time.
He's
I'm saying
gonna
there's something that is like hidden, right? You can't see it,
he's
and
he's a machine,
and
man.
you can you can summon these energies or these things, because I did. And but the thing is I fought with it for a long time, and it's not necessarily like evil. It's just like
Is.
it's like a different wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't be negative towards it, it wouldn't have been negative towards me.
Right.
Possibly, yeah.
But I'm the one that initiated that, and that's why when I tell people I'm pagan, it's because through that experience I realized uh, that we are all like energetic beings. I realized that if you put out that vibe that's destructive and fucking mean, it's gonna come back towards you. And I put that out in a way where I had a practicing witch that was using cauldrons. She was burning fucking shit in the place, and she was a good person though. But my energy was so dark, it caused this.
Right. Right. But
It wasn't her fault.
thankfully
That's
you're
why when
now
people,
you're not
like when people talk about how like witches are bad and oh, you got to be a Christian and Jesus saves you. That's bullshit. There, like you could be any person. You could be a good or bad person. It doesn't matter what your belief system is or where you came from. I
right.
like fully realize this because this witch person was actually a really good person, but I got the dark energy, man. Like I made that shit,
Well,
and that shit haunted me for fucking years.
it's intention.
Go ahead, Eric.
It's intention. If you're using witchcraft with a positive intention for good, it's obviously good. But if you're using it with a negative intention for bad, you're doing you're mixing some alchemy herbs to heal someone, and you're doing good and praising your gods and goddesses, your creator, whatever. It's good. But if you're doing blood sacrifices and doing some voodoo and santeria and intentions to do dark magic and stuff, obviously it's gonna be negative. It's in the intention behind it's good. I mean, there
Right.
what
Well,
and
that's right, Eric. And I thought it was all hocus pocus, right? Because we're growing up, we live on a ball fucking spinning at 1,000 miles per
Went
hour,
to the
whatever.
moon.
93,000 miles per hour spinning around this and that. But what you realize in real life is that our intentions and our will is like intricately connected to everything we do.
Oh yeah.
Like even with this witch person, I seen her. She filmed herself, man. Like take like several herbs from some shop I bought. She put it in a cauldron, and she lit the stuff, right? And the whole room was changing the colors, and the language was was being spoken that I didn't know. And it turns out it was German. Rob probably knows Rob, you speak German, right?
Yeah.
How do you say "in this night" in German?
And this night,
Yes, it's
uh,
like "Vivish Nacht" or something like that.
And night is knocked. Yeah.
Nacht, like "Vivish Nacht." It was saying this over and over,
Eve is
and
not.
I'm like, something like that. "Vivish Nacht, Vivish Nacht, Vivish Nacht." I was like, what the fuck? And I seen this shit on tape, man.
Well, night is Nacht.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and what was the other word? The first word?
Well, I didn't know what the fuck it was saying, but my Iranian friend spoke German, so I took him over and I said, "What is this?" Because I showed him the video. This witch did not speak German, man. And in the video, it sounded like a very ethereal kind of something about knock, right? Like, I don't know what the fuck this means.
Well,
So I
yeah.
said, "What's this mean?" He listened to it and he said, "That voice is saying in this night." This is the guy that was telling me that
Yeah.
I'm a
So then
fucking
In
pussy.
dieser Nacht.
Yes.
in diese Nacht.
In diese Nacht. So,
Yeah, that's what it said.
so
So,
what
It
you
was
got,
me
there's
put
a,
me putting your pieces together. It's saying in that ritual, in dieses Nacht. Then when your friend stayed at the house, you need to do whatever before she's killed this night. I'm telling you, maybe this
yeah.
German dude, Peter Dean, killed some lady. She was trying to expose you to the fear she
dude,
felt.
that's scary,
At
man.
And
3
he
o'clock.
was trying to prevent you from discovering him because it would have
Right.
broken the cycle of that. And then he loses all his power and gets whatever disbanded. And then she was able to move on to her next realm.
Dude, that's fucking
Yeah.
scary,
Two
bro.
energies trapped there, and you were stuck in the middle of the
You know
war.
what's crazy, bro?
Oh,
There was this like
fuck.
shit. There was this shit on the floor. It looked like a blood stain, and no matter how many times I cleaned it up, it would have reappeared. And I was like, "What the fuck
Telling
is
you,
going
dude.
on?"
Yeah.
Those,
Disorganized Productions, connecting the dot from the paranormal.
yeah, trapped
I,
energies can be a
I,
traumatic experience.
I, I don't know what the fuck it was, man. But what he says what he says kind of makes sense.
I mean, maybe
It
I'm
makes
just
sense.
speculating. It's just the pieces I'm picking out of your story.
Well, I
Yeah.
just came to a point where this shit was harassing me so much. I just said, "Listen, man,
I'm out.
you guys can." Yeah, I said, "You guys just do whatever you need to do to
Fuck off.
fucking."
Fuck off of my
No, I
reality.
just said because I had to work. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to sleep, and every night I'm getting woken up by this fucking weird motherfucking shit. And it was like it was becoming overwhelming. Like I just said, "Look, dude, I live here too, motherfuckers. I know you guys have your problems. You can harass my friends, but leave me alone." And that's what I told that guy to stay there. And it freaked him the fuck out. That
Um,
really happened.
I was once, I'm gonna search for it, while
I still think we need to make your T-shirt though. The shroud of turban.
Well,
You got the turban.
that's the other thing.
Face hanging
That's
off
a,
with
you
your
know,
face on it.
that's one of the things I have. A lot of Christians have a fucking problem with me because I think snakes are protectors. I don't think they're evil. And even in that situation, if I had my snakes with me, nothing would happen, dude. It would
right.
only happen if they're away from me. So,
I
like,
think,
dude,
like we said, it's misinterpretation. It's the whatever that entity was, they named it the serpent.
well,
Said it
they're
was
idiots for doing that, and that's one of the things. Well,
Cain and
you know,
apple.
but the thing is I have people like Rob intervening Kroll to make me like forgive his idiocy and shit. But in reality, man, like snakes have always been a part of me. I will never, ever fucking act like they're evil. I won't do it, you know, and I won't entertain people that pretend they're evil. It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're the snake man. You're sent to here to be their caretaker and to, to help them out and keep that balance.
And
Well,
Eric
there's a
has to
point.
take care of the chickens. I have to take care of the wolf and the cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there was a point in my life where I had no friends or nobody, and I just had snakes. So if people are going to pretend they're evil, they're fucking retards, dude.
Mm.
Because snakes aren't evil. They're not, they are actually super sensitive to your energy. And people don't understand this about me, but I've proven it over and over again. Like I can go up to a snake that people think is absolutely dangerous, and I can calm it down just with my mind. I can make it fucking crawl up to me and not bite me. And people might call that satanic and shit, but they can fuck off because they have no psychological connection to nature.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
I,
just
I
indoctrination.
I think that Slash from Guns N' Roses had also a big connection of collection of snakes.
Oh, he's a good dude, yeah.
Yeah.
And
How
he
long do you
also
have?
Gene, and he was a good friend with Gene, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So how many years do you have snakes now, Snake?
oh, fucking, it's going on 34.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
And
these are the closest things that I've ever seen in my life that I can actually commune with them,
right.
speak to them. And people think I'm a liar, but if I was a liar, why would it happen for 34 years?
Well, it's just like dog whispers and horse whispers. We have the same, they all have the same connection. It's just people have different frequencies and animals have different frequencies.
Right.
And
Well, that's why when I think about like Christianity and stuff like that, that shit pisses me off because it paints them in like this negative way. But if you're like a fucking weirdo like me and you've been attached to these animals all this time, you know that's bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same with dogs. Dogs can grab you badly, and a horse also. He can kick you to death for a reason, probably.
And anyone, once you've been
Yeah,
attacked by something, you'll be afraid of it. So I like, my wife's grandma, she's afraid of dogs. She had couple dogs attack her, and it's like she can't realize that there are good dogs and bad dogs. And it's the same thing. It's the energy you project. If you come in with the energy of being afraid or the prey or, oh, I hate dogs, then they're gonna react the same way.
Right. That's what I like
yeah, but
about cats. When you don't like cats, they come up to you and they're gonna sit down by you, just like, and they look at you just like, if you mess me up, I'm gonna fuck you up. That's what I love
well,
about cats.
snakes are similar. They're similar to cats, actually.
I never
Uh,
touched a snake. Well, oh, not talking about my own, but but, but never touch a snake. I'm really fascinated about that. So
Never had a snake?
no,
Oh
no.
wow.
Well, there
well, you
are
gotta.
little snakes here in the Netherlands, but you never see them normally. Probably I saw some in the zoo, but I never touched one. Something like no, not yet,
Well,
not
what I
yet.
could tell you is that I was not a fan of these things as a kid, man, and I was like more into like lizards and all that kind of thing. But somebody brought one across me when I was a kid, and my mom freaked out. It was a garter snake, right?
So you
And she was
said I
like,
would have one.
"Well, it just seemed like magical, right? Like the way it moved." I said, "What the fuck? This animal is attached to me, man." And then my mom bought me one for my birthday, and I was just mesmerized. I felt like psychologically connected to this
Right.
animal more so than I could ever connect to any human being. And then I started to realize I have this ability to take the ones that they call mean and relax them. So people would call me if they had these animals, and I would chill them out, right?
I hear a new job coming up for you, Snake.
No,
Grounders.
that's not what I meant to do, dude. I'm just trying to fucking chill out this reticulated python. Like I just kept upping the ante. You know what fuck can I handle? And I got these more dangerous ones, and I started to realize the danger is not in the animal. The danger is in our perception of the animal. And I realized that I have a talent with these creatures, but it's not to make money off of it.
No, no, no.
No.
I'm just
Guys,
here to fucking help them. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
when they're telling you that these things are like evil or they're taking over Florida, these people are idiots, dude. As soon as the snakes get born, every animal that can eat them. It takes a long time for them to get to the size like what I have.
right.
You're not going to have that just crawling around immediately. They're not a threat to any ecosystem. Man.
Right,
They
right.
are just like they eat once and then they don't eat again for a long time. Like these animals are very, very special. They're very, very fucking misunderstood, man.
Mm.
Yeah, but ecosystems do get messed up from introduction of foreign animals all the time. Like, look at what happened
Yeah,
to
especially human beings, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest animal walking upon the earth.
when we're
Exactly. Yeah,
disconnected.
yeah. Like human beings talk about fucking snakes fucking up the ecosystem, but who fucked it up worse, the snake
Yeah.
or the fucking human?
Yeah, right, right.
Well, the
That's
snake
a
would have
good one.
never. That snake wouldn't have been in that ecosystem if it weren't for the human.
Yeah, well, you know
Exactly.
what, man? Don't believe what they say. What's happening in Florida? It's
Oh no, I
bullshit.
don't. I'm not saying that. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I understand they only eat once and for like a few days and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, if you're a fucking crocodile, you'll be happy to eat a baby Burmese python, dude. It's a good snack.
Right.
Like
And I'm
it's
just
easy
thinking
or
more
a
of like,
bird or anything else. They're not taking over the fucking Florida motherfuckers.
yeah, no, I'm thinking more of the Australia when they brought different species down there, and then it kind of started messing shit up. Then they would bring a new species to cancel it out, and it didn't. And, those ones are kind of those ones are a lot more believable than the snakes in Florida.
Isn't that the same going on
Well,
with the humans? You know, when you put some humans in the wrong country, that they're gonna fuck up a country on the ecosystem and
yeah,
all.
yeah. You could
It's,
talk to
it's
more
the
with
same
Reese
thing going
about
on.
that one, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
Guys, not to be
Moreland
rude,
Reese
but
has a lot about that.
not to be rude, but we're almost 3.5 hours ahead, right?
That's
And
good.
we just we just keep on rambling, and that's good because we have a great conversation, touch base on a
Well,
lot of
who
stuff
knows,
that
dude? Maybe I sound like a fucking retard.
no, 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 you're not. You're not. You say your point of view, which should be respected from other people because it's your point of view and your experience with these creatures. As we have several things going on in our lives that we experience because we talk from our perspective about how we dealt with the situation or how we came through that situation or get through that situation. But what I want to touch based on is that for the editing, it would be okay to have like 3.5 hours, so a few minutes left. Then I'm gonna cut it. We can have a conversation afterwards, eventually. But I want to edit this episode before midnight. It's gonna take some while. Um, I know that I asked the 12 questions to Eric Finnäs. I know that for sure. I don't know because you were very in the beginning of Disorganized Productions on my podcast, Snake. If I asked you these 12 questions,
Yeah.
I did
No, you didn't.
or I didn't. So okay,
No.
this is a perfect moment to dive into the 12 questions for my guest. So, Mr. Snake Turbanhead,
Yeah.
what is your perception of God?
Uh, Perception of God must be the creator above Yahweh It's not just fucking Yahweh. If you think it's Yahweh, you're blind. Like the perception of God must be the thing above both good and evil.
Nice one.
It's not easily definable. You can't just, if you want to think about it as something facing evil, you're fucking blind. So my perception of God is the creator of all beyond any kind of indoctrination.
Wow.
Like it.
Yep. So the second question will be, what's your definition of the devil?
The devil is a ethereal concept based upon human limitation to understand good and evil. It's rather trying to place the blame of one's own iniquities outside of oneself on a tulpa. So the devil is one's own insecurities and inability to overcome those.
Wow. I love that.
Like
I
it.
love that. Snake, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is green underneath gray skies when it's raining. Otherwise, it's not the same green.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite music?
Vivaldi, hands down.
Do you got a special piece of Vivaldi that you really like? Like the
Four
Four Seasons?
Seasons,
Yeah, Four Seasons. That's fucking awesome.
especially winter.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite movie or series?
Shawshank Redemption until TNT played it to him.
What's your favorite book?
The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand.
Oh, wow. Twan Monders
Also, I should
pointed
add
that
a
out.
caveat to that. There's who else pointed that out?
Twan Monders, the tax lawyer.
Yeah. I like that guy. I love The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, but I also love Nietzsche's The Gay Science, which is nothing to do about being a homosexual, but it's better to walk into a coffee shop with the gay science than it is to walk in with Beyond Good and Evil because it creates a stir.
Wow. Oh, I like your deep thoughts, man. Love that, brother.
I'm
What's your
dangerous, brother.
Yeah, but I'm gonna hug you anyway. Yeah, virtual hug. Yeah, there we are. Snake, you gotta
Come on.
come on.
Get in there.
I love you guys, man. You guys
Love
are
you too, man.
amazing.
What's your favorite beverage or booze or drink?
Um, Imperial IPA. It has to be craft, not fucking commercial.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite food?
I'd say slow cooker, made with bone broth, mushrooms, something carnivorous like I would say cabbage or Brussels sprouts with mushrooms, onions. Um, has to have rosemary in it, minced garlic with a minced habanero, uh, ginger has to be organic, turmeric. Stir that up, leave it in there until I get home.
Like that pot roast you made the other day.
Yeah, I just want
Yeah,
to
that's
point
what
it
I
out.
do, man.
I think you're a great cook because your wife always shouted out that she has a great dinner from Snake
Well, I'd
Turban.
love doing that stuff, man. I would love to cook for all you guys one day, man. That would be amazing to me.
We will. 2024 is going to be our year because it resonates with me a lot.
Yeah, I'd love to just get all you guys together and just like I love having a good time with fucking cool people. Just like cook a big ass pot roast,
Right.
chill out, you know. fucking bonfire, fucking beers. That's
Mushrooms.
my way. That's my way of having a good time, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 100%. What kind of clothing you like to wear the most?
That's simple, dude. If I can wear fucking shorts and a flannel with a shirt, that's it. I mean, unless it's too cold, I'll fucking wear sweats too.
Right. Well,
I
you're
don't.
gonna have a disorganized skirt for
Well,
sure.
well, that'd be fun, but I'm not somebody that's overtly cared about my appearance. Like, I just don't give a shit.
Right. What's your favorite
If I,
holiday or vacation destination, Snake?
that's interesting because I travel a lot, not because I wanted to, but because I had to. So I had to fucking move around a lot, right? And when
Mhm.
you're moving around, you see a lot of different places, even if you didn't plan to see them. So if you're thinking of like holiday destinations, like I think that some people have that luxury of saying, "Oh, I'm doing this, but I have enough money to go there." But what if you just ended up going here and there and you never had enough money for it? You start
Right.
to think about a holiday in a different way, right?
Yeah.
So I never had a particular place that I wanted to go out of choice. But I would say out of necessity, all the places I had to be, the two greatest places I was at was Hawaii, which was like heaven. And the other place that people don't realize that's actually beautiful is Death Valley. It was amazing to me. Also, I'll give a shout out to fucking Montana. I mean, but I never chose these as holidays. I just ended up there.
Right. Yeah, right. Okay.
You don't think that the other people don't fucking have an idea about what I was saying. But if you live the life I kind of live, you just kind of end up and be there.
Right. We're down to the last two questions, Snake and Eric. What's your favorite quote?
My favorite quote, my own. The doggy door swings both ways, brother.
Oh, yeah. And last question for you, Snake and Eric. What's your life's motto?
Um, uh, I would say my life's motto at this point is just use your abilities to enhance others, whether they see it or not.
Amen to that. Amen to
Beautiful.
that. Guys, I had a great time hopping on this threesome.
Right.
My first threesome.
Freeway.
I
We
definitely
got
had a
you
great.
all, we got you all bi curious like Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I am. Most people that know me, my name is Rob, but eventually everyone, but really everyone in my life that knows my name is Rob, call me Robbie. So I'll tell some people when I fuck them up with my perception of hetero, gay, or whatever. I'm Rob B, not Rob Hay or not Rob Gay, right? I'm Rob B. Guys,
Love it.
I had a blast. I hope the listeners had a blast too. We touched base on a lot of topics. Um, I want to give the last words to Eric and to Snake just before we're gonna hop off the show. From my point of view, for all the listeners, have a beautiful morning, a beautiful day, and a beautiful evening, no matter where you are on this beautiful plane planet. Eric, what's your last thing you want to bring into?
Just don't believe the hype. Look into it for yourself. Use your brain, follow your heart, go with your gut. Try to make every day better than the last and enjoy it and treat everyone a little bit better than you treat yourself and spread the love, man. Kill them with kindness.
Nice.
Thank you. Snake.
What I would say is, dude, the most important thing is support your brothers and sisters. Elevate those that feel like they're not even noticed. Bring them into the limelight. Bring the stars before you, because they deserve the recognition.
Amen to that. Thank you very much for hopping on Disorganized Productions, fellow humans.
Yes.
Thanks for having us, brother.
That's a wrap. Yeah.
And now I scared the fuck out of everybody. But that's what I do.
All right. Thank you. And have a great time, everyone. Running for all my life with the devil on my heels. He wasn't always kind, and he couldn't fulfill my dreams. I've been running for all my life with the devil on my heels. He wasn't always kind, and he couldn't fulfill my dreams. He's a pain in the ass, black as a night. God, show me the light. He's a pain in the ass, black as a night. God, show me the light and hold me tight. For I've been running for all my life with the devil on my heels. He wasn't always kind, and he couldn't fulfill my dreams. He's a pain in the ass, black as a night. God, show me the light and hold me tight.